Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. It's 12:04. We're glad you're here with us. I just realized in the last 10 minutes that I've coached 3 volleyball games in a row this week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Had to coach a volleyball game, and I think it's affecting my voice. I'm going to have to implement a whisper, eyes here, and then some sort of mechanism to coach a volleyball game without yelling so much.
Why don't you talk to the kids through one of those Stephen Hawking programs?
You have to be more specific. I'm not. First of all, I'm a little nervous about what you're about to say. And second of all, what?
Yeah, it talks for you. You just move your hand, and then it speaks like a speak and say.
Oh, or maybe a speak and say.
Or maybe you can just use that.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Man, the news today, it's all about this. Is it Lindsay Clancy trial? Tell me, Ryan, what you know and have consumed about this trial.
Okay, this is a brutal murder of her children. I don't know much about the details aside from the fact that she is on trial for killing her own kids, and that the firestorm around it has been that there are people who support her in that action. Not like, oh, we think she didn't do it, so we support her in that.
I don't know that they're supporting her in her action.
Well, they seem like they're taking her side. And this is you're asking me what I know.
Yeah.
This is what I know, is that it looks like there are at least a very small group of women who have taken her side and said that she has been wronged in some way. That's all I know.
The people who are providing support to Lindsay Clancy are leaning heavily into the capacity with which a woman can experience great hormonal shifts post-birth. In the case of the defense arguing for Clancy here to be found to have been suffering from a momentary psychosis. They're saying she was out of her mind. And so these protesters or these supporters or whatever they might be are out there trying to say, this is the part that really makes me almost throw up in my mouth, that she's a victim here of being in a psychotic state. Okay. Now, I have kept this story at an arm's length at closest the entire time it's going on because I don't have the stomach or the soul to consume the information in this story. I also know and have learned myself, I've learned about myself that when I don't have the capacity to affect in any way, shape, or form the outcome, that I have to weigh the consumption of that information on my soul. And I have to be able to say, this one is not for me. I love information. I don't think information is ever really bad, but the question is, what is it good for? So throwing myself into this type of a story to learn the details, to come up with my own conclusion, I really do feel like I would spend the time to do that just to be incredibly, disgustingly disappointed in the end. The jury is now deliberating in the case of this Lindsay Clancy trial. If you know nothing about it, she had 3 children. And I say had because she murdered them. She killed them one by one. And then her intention, according to things that she researched, was to kill herself. I don't know why she's still here. I don't know why she didn't go through with the 4th one. I was thinking to myself on the way in, because this morning you had the prosecution and the defense giving their closing arguments. So it's been the only thing on the news all day. That and today's Carolyn Levitt's last day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Throughout the course and the pundit deliberation regarding all of this, I'm just thinking to myself of the murder-suicides that take place that never actually get the trial. And when I think about that, an adult taking this type of power into their own hands and people not being able to see justice be served, that makes me really, really mad. And this is why I don't get involved in true crime things or the Kohlberger trial in, was it Idaho, or what's the guy on the East Coast?
Murdaugh.
Yeah. Whatever. What did you say? It was Murdaugh or Murtaugh?
I said Murdaugh.
Whatever you said, Brad and I said differently, and we were wrong and you were right.
Oh, good.
I wanted to say that, and it's been like 3 weeks, and it's still on my conscience.
Just before we move on, that is also the subject of Wiggins America today.
You being right?
Well, let's just say that, but it's the way you pronounce words.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, an airing of grievances at 12:45. All the times Ryan was right, nobody acknowledged it. Hey, I acknowledged it 3 weeks later. I saw that and I thought, oh my gosh, I was wrong about that.
Thank you very much.
I need to clear the air.
Yeah.
I'm sad that you weren't like waiting for that moment. It wasn't more satisfactory to you.
I'll make it into a promo.
We don't even do promos, do we? I don't even know if that happens.
It's going to be a disclaimer that
It's
you
like-
guys got something wrong 3 weeks ago.
Sure. The regeneration of doing promos for our show will be just me saying, Ryan, you were right.
Odyssey St. Louis wishes to correct a wrong made by the Annie Frey Show, but just Annie and Brad.
Ryan, you were right.
Yes. Thank you.
Was that clean and clear?
Yeah, that was fine.
Okay. My pride is not too big for that moment. I just when it comes to this true crime stuff, I have a very strong opinion about what should happen. And I'm not in the courtroom. I did not listen to weeks of evidence being presented and arguments being made and experts being questioned. And I didn't do all that because I can't handle it. So I know that whatever justice looks like being served from where I sit, if I were ever in a courtroom, I would want more due diligence than I'm offering this in order for a fair and just verdict to be released. So I just hesitate to bring it up at all. I hesitate to talk about it at all. But I do think on a larger scale, and this is not for the courtroom, this is the court of public opinion that I'm discussing this in, I do think that we have become a soft culture that looks to make a victim out of everybody all the time. We have 3 victims here. They're dead. They're dead. They're children, helpless, innocent children that are dead at the hands of their mother. Now, if somebody was mentally impaired, which was I was listening to Dr. Siegel on the way into work talking about how that was apparently mentioned multiple times within the course of the closing arguments, and the judge said it as well. I think the defense was talking about mental impairment on behalf of Lindsay Clancy's participation in this, that psychosis and mental impairment are vastly different things. And according to what Dr. Siegel said, within the last hour, 20% of the population is mentally impaired at any given time.
Wow.
Because mental impairment is anxiety, it's depression, it's, certain sorts of disability that you might have because of any particular situation. That's not psychosis. And he was saying that his jaw was kind of dropped by this whole thing because the mental health awareness lobby, for lack of a better term, is working night and day to ensure that we as a society don't say mental impairment equals violence. That there are people dealing, you want to normalize it. You want people to be aware that, hey, 1 in 5 people are going through something really heavy, but they're going through it. They're not killing their children. And there has to be a vast separation of what psychosis might be or straight up evil, what that might be, and people who are dealing with a lot of anxiety in their life. And listen, I've had 4 babies. I know what the roller coaster hormonal situation feels like. I know what it's like to live like that. I know what it's like to, have the absolute euphoric high of a new child, a new life in your existence, in your conscious. I know what that's like. There's absolutely no comparison to it. And I would go as far to say that there's no comparison to it even from the father and the mother. I think that biologically, as a gift from God, that women have something unique and special. And I'll say it louder for the people in the back. That's what makes women women. This intrinsic maternal nature, regardless if you ever even have children or not, you are innate with a maternal instinct that manifests itself in whatever capacity that it manifests. For me, it was my 4 kids, certainly. But I know what it's like, and I'll be, this is very incredibly transparent. And Ryan, you know this more than anyone else. The day I came home from the hospital with Molly, everything about my job here, when I was on a 3-month maternity leave, everything changed.
It was pretty wild.
I mean, my name is on the show, and at the time, that was you were the only other thing that was consistent about that show, and I was on like day 1 of maternity leave.
You know what's crazy? Not to derail this, a guy walked up to me at a grocery store that day, randomly, just walks up and goes, "Hey, I feel like God needs to tell you that everything's under control."
Really?
And then he walked away. Yeah. Because I didn't know all that stuff was it happened so immediate all at the same time. Just people leaving and moving around, and like the show changing completely.
Yes.
And you were gone, so I was still here.
This show changing, this was the most impacted of all of the things that changed at that point. I mean, like, you could look at it and say everything completely fell apart.
Yeah. Other than the fact that because you weren't even here because you were on maternity, I was the only one here.
I was laboring and having a baby.
Yeah.
And you were here trying to get us kicked off YouTube.
Yeah. Which I did well.
Yeah. That did happen because it was 2021 and COVID and all that stuff. And Ryan was saying things that were true. And YouTube was like, no, you can't do that. Euphoric, happy time met with incredible challenge. That I remember sitting in that moment being like, this is a real one. This is a real crap situation. But I could feel internally in my body going, where I am with this mentally is outside of where I normally would be with this. So is that the same thing that Lindsay Clancy was dealing with? No, it's not the same thing. But if you're going to melt everything down to anxiety and mental impairment, I was never. Oh my gosh, no. The thing that kept me going was the thing that she snuffed out. I don't know if the poll question today almost was like, are you following this story? But I didn't want to talk about it all day long. I am interested in your feedback though. Like if you want to text us at 314-241-9797 or jump on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat and weigh in. Even if weighing in says, I'm not paying attention to any of it because I'm like Annie and I can't handle it either. I just don't. The true crime thing, if you want a fiction, if you're into the fiction, if you like the drama, like a good thriller movie or whatever, unfolds. That's a different story. But that is the headline today. The Lindsay Clancy fate is the headline of the day. And I do wonder how much our culture of constant commoditized victimhood is going to affect the outcome of this trial. And I wonder if these three children are going to get justice in the midst of it. Let us know what you think. When we come back, we're going to talk with Hans von Spakovsky, as we are apt to do on a Thursday afternoon, about that Supreme Court ruling regarding mail-in votes. Are we any closer to securing our elections in the wake of this ruling from the Supreme Court? Hans von Spakovsky on the Annie Frey Show next.
Governor Josh Shapiro is suing the Trump administration for what he's calling an unconstitutional attempt to change the rules and restrict mail-in voting. Today, Shapiro joined 23 state attorneys general in suing USPS, days after the Supreme Court ruled in favor of key parts of an executive order signed by Trump that were challenged. They require state and local officials to submit information on voters receiving mail-in ballots to a USPS portal. Election officials would have to adhere to USPS-approved ballot designs, which aim to accurately track the ballots. Shapiro claims President Trump is trying to inject chaos into his state's elections.
So an OAN report there regarding the reaction to the balloting mail-in ballot ruling from the Supreme Court, and we talked a little bit yesterday with Margot Cleveland about this, and she said that this wasn't the big kahuna here of results, but it definitely is a step forward. We wanted to speak with Hans von Spakovsky about this as well, because he is a former FEC commissioner, of course, Advancing American Freedom senior legal fellow, and he joins us once again. Hans, a pleasure to have you back. Happy Thursday to you.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having me back.
Can you talk to me about your reaction to the Supreme Court ruling, 6-3 ruling, of course, on what we anticipate to be ideological lines? What was the ruling about?
Well, it was really interesting. All these states who sued, led by California, where did they sue? In Massachusetts. Why would California file a lawsuit in Massachusetts? Because they were judge shopping. And they got this very liberal judge who issued an injunction almost immediately against several parts of the president's executive order. And what the Supreme Court said was that injunction was improper. And in fact, the states didn't have what's called standing to file a lawsuit. You can't file a lawsuit in federal court unless you can show some kind of injury, a concrete damage of some kind, and the states couldn't show it. Everybody's talking about the Postal Service today, but let me give you two other quick examples if I can.
Sure.
The states sued to stop part of the order in which the president told the Department of Homeland Security, I want you to provide each state with a list of the residents of the state who are 18 years of age or older and are U.S. citizens. The states don't have to use it, but this would be a great list that a state election official could use to check their voter list and make sure people who are registered are citizens. California and the states didn't want to get this list, and they claimed it was somehow unconstitutional for this list to be provided to them. That obviously got thrown out by the Supreme Court because they said, how does that hurt the states to get a list like that? I mean, it's just nutty. And the nuttiest part of the order was the president told DOJ, I want you to prioritize suing and criminally prosecuting state and local officials who violate federal law by providing ballots to people who aren't eligible to vote, like aliens. And the judge issued an injunction basically telling DOJ, you can't enforce the law. So again, the Supreme Court threw that out and said, you can't prevent the Justice Department from prosecuting people who have actually violated the law. I mean, that's how silly the injunction was. And as you know, almost immediately after the injunctions were lifted on Wednesday, California, once again, everybody else filed a lawsuit again, this time over the Postal Service rules. And where did they file? Oh, in Massachusetts again.
Man, there must be something real friendly there in Massachusetts for those folks.
Oh, yeah.
Hans von Spakovsky speaking with us right now, Advancing American Freedom senior legal fellow, former FEC commissioner and DOJ lawyer. Is there a consistency, Hans, in who is saying, let's have transparency in our voter rolls and let's not have transparency in our voter rolls?
Oh, yeah. These blue states who have all sued, it's just astonishing what they're opposed to. For example, look, the U.S. Postal Service rule, which is now final, says if you're going to send a ballot through the mail, if an election official is going to send a mail-in or absentee ballot, They need to put a barcode on the envelope. Now, why would you want to do that? So you can track the envelope, so you can make sure it doesn't get misdirected, misdelivered, ends up sitting at a postal distribution center somewhere and doesn't get delivered on time. Look, Annie, how many times have you ordered stuff from Amazon or elsewhere, right? And they send you tracking information, so you know where your package is. Why would these states be against being able to track these very valuable envelopes that have votes in them? Why would they be against that?
Yeah.
Hans, this is Ryan, and I apologize if this is territory that we've already kind of tread, but there was a lot of confusion in the initial aftermath of this Supreme Court ruling concerning the mail-in ballots.
Right.
And it would seem to be centered on this idea of standing, that the people suing, the states that you were talking about suing, didn't have proper standing. But then other people were saying that, oh no, they had standing, but the reason it was overturned is because the Supreme Court was saying the president actually can't be challenged on this ruling. So I was hoping you could just kind of clarify what that standing issue was that was in the aftermath.
No, with the Supreme Court's entire decision was based on actually two things. One was a lack of standing. Like I said, the states couldn't show that they were somehow harmed by, for example, the Justice Department prioritizing prosecution of people who have violated federal elections laws. What the court said was, look, this isn't a final decision on the substantive merits. If the states in this new lawsuit can show that the new Postal Service rule somehow causes them real damages, and by that I mean costs them dollars, costs them monetary damages, well then, yeah, they potentially have standing to assert a claim. But they also are going to have to show that the president is somehow interfering in, for example, state administration of elections. And so far, he hasn't. Everything he's done in this executive order has been directed to who? Subordinates within the federal government and federal agencies.
Okay. Hans von Spakovsky speaking with us. I want to ask you this. This is more broad than this particular topic. However, it does involve this particular topic because I get asked this question a lot, Hans. What about these activist judges? And, you know, judge shopping, I guess, is legal, but is there recourse? I mean, and, do Republicans just need to do a better job of doing the same thing and beating the left at their own game? Or maybe they do, but this judge shopping, the muddying of the system, the slowing down of these processes when they eventually get to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court goes, no, it's fine. All of this gets hindered. It's just obstacle laying for Donald Trump and his agenda. What is with these activist judges?
Well, unfortunately, the problem we have is that Joe Biden and Barack Obama nominated and got confirmed to the federal courts the most left-wing ideological partisans we've ever had sit as judges in this country in our entire history. And look, the only way a judge can be removed is by impeachment. So the only other thing that could be done about these judges is the U.S. Supreme Court needs to start coming down hard on them. And unfortunately, Chief Justice Roberts has apparently been reluctant to do that. That's about the only thing that I know of that could be done about judges who keep twisting the law or frankly violating the law to get the kind of outcomes that they want. It's a very frustrating problem.
Yeah, it's incredibly frustrating, especially when the president has, I think you would have a better assessment of this than I would, certainly. Feels like the president's had a pretty good batting average at the Supreme Court with the things that have been challenged and run up the courts. He continues to do well there, and it's like an understanding that we can't stop Trump's agenda, but we'll just slow it down as much as we can in these court systems.
Right, and that's exactly what they want to do and are trying to do.
Yeah, Hans, you're a treasure trove of information, and we're always grateful that you can be on the show with us. Thanks for coming on with us again today.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
We'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Hans von Spakovsky, of course, the Advancing American Freedom Senior Legal Fellow and a great legal expert for us to have here on a weekly basis on our show and across 97.1, a great relationship that we've had with Hans. He knows his stuff, and we're grateful that he shares it with us each week. All right, we're going to break the YouTube poll for today. I'm going to ask you, do you support congressional term limits, yes or no? Is the SAVE Act DOA? I kind of think it is. John Thune couldn't get the job done, didn't want to get the job done. Not 100% sure which one is the full truth of the matter. When we come back, President Trump is making a pretty big announcement from the Oval Office. We'll have that for you. Another geographical impact. President Trump is taking over the world, or at least a little part of it. We'll give you that info when we come back. Don't go away. So Ann's Bra Shop, have you called them yet? If you've been looking for employment, if you feel like managing a retail store would be the right job for you, if it's a job that is out there to meet the needs of the community. When people come into Ann's Bra Shop, yeah, you can just go in and buy a bra if that's what you're looking for. But the real treasure trove that Ann's Bra Shop has been for our communities here in the St. Louis area, both east and west of the Mississippi River, is the work that they do with women who have gone through breast cancer, who have had a mastectomy, who are now in a different part of their life, of their existence. They need help. Oftentimes, insurance is involved in this. And Ann's Bra Shop is there to ensure that all of your needs are met. So if you're interested in working at a fulfilling place like Ann's Bra Shop, if you know that you could meet the needs of these women and you want to do something that is meaningful work, how about looking to be hired at Ann's Bra Shop? 314-878-4144 is the number to call. 314-878-4144. You can apply in person today and every day, but Tuesday. They are hiring at all locations. They do have flexible hours, and they are looking to meet you. Reach out to Ann's Bra Shop, 314-878-4144, online at brashop.com.
Do you support congressional term limits? That's today's YouTube live chat poll. Let us know by logging into YouTube and seeing us there, or 314-241-9797 if you want to text us. 1235, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
And finally, I guess the purpose of this more than anything else is we're going to be changing the name of Lake Ontario, effective immediately, to Lake America. That's going to take place right now as I sign the order. Do you have anything to say about it, Ben?
Yes, sir. So this is a straightforward but important executive order. It directs Secretary Burgum and the Department of the Interior to update the geographic names information service to reflect that the lake once known as Lake Ontario will, from this day forward, be known as Lake America. This is a lake that has most of its volume in the United States. The deepest parts of the lake sit in United States territory, so this will reflect that this is an American lake.
Thank you. Okay.
So then President Trump signs this executive order in the Oval Office there, going to make the... Guys, you have to relearn the acronym, the Holmes acronym.
Hams.
That sounds Southern.
Holmes?
Yeah. Huron,
That's
Ontario. Is it like
Michigan,
Erie. Superior.
And now, okay, so
now it's
we're just
Hames.
Hames.
Can we change Michigan to something with an N so that the acronym is Hanes, like the underwear?
Like the underwear?
Yeah. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you. Ryan is the one in charge.
Yeah.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
And now, the great Ethan Hannaford jokes.
Jokes?
I don't know. It was either jokes or chokes. You be the judge.
I heard jokes.
Okay.
I've never choked once in my life.
You want to do
Glad
a
to hear
Cardinal
that.
Except
story?
for that one time. That piece of chicken really got me.
How'd the Cardinals do last night?
They choked.
Oh, no.
Ethan doesn't choke, but the Cardinals sure do.
Can you pitch?
The Orioles almost choked. Can I pitch? Ask me that 5 years ago.
Could you?
5 years ago? How old am I? I'm 25 now. Yeah, I could have pitched 5
Hey,
years ago.
that math is going to get scarier and scarier as you go on through time.
Yeah,
Just so when you go like
it's gonna
5
get
years ago and you're
bigger
like,
equation. It's like
5
oh,
years ago
yeah,
I was 38.
Why is that number bigger now?
Yeah.
Yikes, big deal. The Cardinals last night at 1 point against the Baltimore Orioles were trailing 7-0 after an inning and a half, and you're thinking, here we go again. It's just going to be another ugly beatdown. And they actually made something of this ball game.
Okay.
They were trailing 7-1 going into the bottom of the fifth when they would put together a 6-run rally. They tied this game up. It was 7-7 going into the ninth inning when they gave it away again.
How did they lose? What happened?
Riley O'Brien, who has been their all-star closer this season, but has really been struggling over the past couple of weeks. It's probably less than that. It's probably closer to a week. And allowed the leadoff man to get on, and then Christian Encarnacion Strand, that's a name, hit an RBI double to score the run, gave the Orioles the lead, and the Cardinals would lose their fifth straight, 8-7 the final.
Did the guy that Riley O'Brien hit in the All-Star game, was he fine?
Who did he hit? He hit Junior Caminero. Yes, he was fine.
Like, that ended up being okay?
Yes.
Because you never, ever want to see something like that for everybody, like, and then everything was fine.
Yep,
Okay.
ended up being nothing. Was a scary moment, especially, I'm sure, for Riley more than anyone. Well, maybe Rays fans. But, I mean, it's an exhibition game. It's supposed to be having fun. I mean, can you imagine if you'd have, like, broke his hand and had to miss a month? And to make it even worse, that player, MVP candidate this year. So if he would have gotten hurt, that probably would have ruined his chances. So that would have really sucked. Okay, so the Cardinals lose. They've lost now 5 straight. Today is a bullpen game, just to give people an idea of how rough things are right now. But the problem is that their starting pitcher yesterday pitched 2 innings, so they had to use a lot of their bullpen
game.
Yep, so they had to make some moves today. Cade Winquist is going to make his Cardinal debut today. Had been in the Cardinal system the past couple of years. So, yeah, pitcher.
Is he going to get rocked?
A lot of chess pieces right now. There's a chance. I hope not. So I don't know. It is a tough spot that the Cardinals are in right now.
I cannot watch any sporting events at this age and not all I think about is the mother of that person. If it's the St. Louis Cardinals, love them to death, full on fan. If we shellac some pitcher in the playoffs, I'm still going, oh, that mom.
Really?
Oh. Yes, I want the Cardinals to win. There's none of that. But I cannot separate the humanity of, that is still a person. And that is still somebody's baby up there. And that it's gut wrenching for me. Like I'm like I can't watch.
What if it's a grizzled veteran that you're watching? Are you still thinking that? Like, thinking about their mom and her mom's,
like
57?
Miles Michaelis's mom.
No, probably thinking about his wife and kids at that point. Like, honest, I just think that there's a huge amount of humanity that once you get to that point where you start relating the world through your spouse or the fact that you have kids and it's almost like your heart now leaves your body and exists in these other people, and you can't help but consider that in sports, and this is the same thing that makes sports incredible and great, the highest moments are other people's lowest moments. And when you know what those lowest moments are and you've felt them and you've experienced them, that makes the high moments so much better. But I've been in those low moments, like just as an athlete, competitor myself, but also as a parent. This is why I always go back to not posting my kids like all their accomplishments. My kids are going to be like 30 and be like, Mom, I hit a grand slam in that game. Where's the post? And I'm going to be like, I felt bad for the pitcher. That's what I'm going to say to him. It's not good.
I promise you they're not going to ask where the post was.
I hope not. I don't know.
They're not going to.
Dave, I'm just trying to find a scenario where you would not do that. David Freese, triple off the wall. You're thinking about Nelson Cruz's wife. Or mom.
Maybe later. I mean, I was pretty pumped. Okay. I was running up and down the stairs, high-fiving. But I would run when that game 6 was happening. We were living. Jared had gone back to school to be a teacher. He has a communications degree like me, but he went back to school to be a teacher. And so my very generous in-laws let us live in the basement with Charlie Charlie was born in December of 2009. So
born in a basement?
No, he was born in a hospital.
Right.
But
and it was then transferred to a basement.
We moved then in a year and a half or so. I don't remember when we moved in, but I was sitting in the basement where we were living at the time, and I mean, you know how the game went.
I do.
Multiple series of you've never seen anything like this, but like multiple times. And so I would run upstairs, I would high five my mother-in-law, and then we're like, get back to your spots. And then we run downstairs, and then we would be tied again or losing. And oh man, just goosebumps.
Yep.
So good.
Our time to go.
You want one more?
No, we need more stories.
No, I don't. Ethan might have just looked at his watch.
Oh no, I'm good.
Thank you, President
Biden. Anytime it buzzes, I look at it.
Okay, I was gonna say we're talking about Game 6.
No, please. I could talk about Game 6 the rest of this show
for sure. Joe says Annie needs to watch for love of the game. Yeah, I have, and I know. Engage the mechanism.
Bam.
Anyway,
that's enough of that.
Ethan, engage the mechanism. Get the show.
Did you guys hear about the new riverboat that is coming to the riverfront?
I wish I had riverboat music right
now.
No, you didn't hear.
What a partner.
You get the bell.
What
just
a partner,
in case it's
Ryan.
good news.
Okay. All right.
It sounds like good news.
A new riverboat just steps
from
the Gateway Arch, has arrived on the riverfront. First time that there will be one there in 40 years.
Is there a McDonald's on the...
Wait a minute. Now, just 2 or 3 years ago, I took my daughter on a daddy-daughter date on a riverboat.
Sorry. First new riverboat.
Okay.
New riverboat.
I was going to say.
That was a rogue riverboat, and you're lucky you didn't get smuggled.
We're going pretty far south.
It had a trolling motor.
When do we turn around?
You're probably wanted right now, and you don't even know it.
See, Ryan, you probably... were on board the Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, and this is the Becky Thatcher.
Probably.
You gave away the name. I'm so excited to say it.
Oh.
Dang it.
What's the name of the second boat, Ethan?
The Becky Thatcher.
Oh, that's great.
Becky Thatcher.
The Becky Thatcher.
Now we
How'd
know
they come
why
up
you
with
got the
that?
bell. The vessel, a 19th century replica paddle wheel riverboat, will become just the second to offer routes along the Mississippi River around downtown St. Louis. The Becky Thatcher. What is anyone have any idea what the name? Anything? Anyone? Does that have any significance? Anyone? Anything?
Becky Thatcher?
Yeah.
Is it Tom Sawyer?
I don't know. I don't know who Becky Thatcher is.
Can hear Ryan Google.
Is that?
Have you read Tom Sawyer?
No, I haven't read Tom.
I
Sawyer.
haven't either.
Obvious. What?
No, I haven't. I know it's a classic.
He was Googling
and
it.
I've never read it.
Becky Thatcher is Tom Sawyer's girlfriend.
It's his love interest.
Yes, Hannibal.
So the boats are dating? How sweet.
That's
they
gonna
would
be
buy
weird.
them. They would bring them together.
We're done here. Unbelievable. Are you serious? Do you really not know?
No.
He really doesn't know.
I figured that was the case, but I didn't know it either.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Played by Jodie Foster.
Change the radio station. This is terrible. We'll be right back. Doesn't know Becky Thatcher. You got to be kidding me. You know who does know about Tom Sawyer and Becky Thatcher? I can almost guarantee Matt Hayes of Home Shield Foundation Repair. Can't back that up, but I have confidence. Well-educated, understands how to fix your wet basement. I don't know if he can paint any fences. I'm making references to Tom Sawyer. Everybody in the Midwest knows these stories, except for half of my show, apparently. Anyway, you got a wet basement? I've got a fix for you. Matt Hayes, he's ready to come give it a look and see how he can help you. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. He puts a lot of effort into making sure that he is a trustworthy person to work with. So first of all, that lifetime warranty for your basement waterproofing, when you hire Home Shield Foundation Repair, you're going to have somebody who's going to back up their work and make sure that it stands up to the quality that they are committed to delivering each and every time. They're a local family-owned company, and if you're interested in possibly getting that basement waterproofed with Home Shield Foundation Repair, another reason why you might want to hire Home Shield Foundation Repair is because they're going to come, they're going to give you an estimate, so you're going to understand exactly what's going on, but also how about 0% financing for 24 months. The project all of a sudden becomes doable. So reach out to Home Shield Foundation Repair, tell them what you're experiencing, and they'll come tell you how they can help you solve the problem. 314-271-9900, 314-271-9900, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Wiggins!
Oh, Wiggins!
All right, if you listen to the Annie Frey Show for any amount of time, you know that there are two words that we pronounce differently in this studio.
Oh, gosh. Folks.
One of them is folks.
Yeah, you say it like you're underwater.
I don't roll the L.
Yeah, you do. You say the L 7 times.
I do not. I say folks, and you say folks.
I can't. It's just folks.
What's the other word?
Ancient.
It is.
Which is incorrect.
It's got it.
Ancient. There's no K.
It's ancient, and it's muscatcholi, by the way.
Muscatcholi.
So these are words.
Muscatcholi, like, is that what you shoot out of an Italian gun?
It's just an Italian gun.
It's an airsoft gun that you shoot at Elon.
No, we don't shoot guns. What?
Muscatcholi.
Oh, let's not.
Get it?
No, maybe that he shoots.
That
Don't
he
be
shoots.
talking about that.
You're right.
You're gonna have
You're
people at our door. If anyone's listening,
It's
they're
just
probably
airsoft.
not. No. What's the matter with you?
You're right. I should not have said that.
No.
These are words that everybody pronounces differently. There's no real consensus onto which pronunciation is correct.
Well, I'll tell you which ones are correct.
Yeah, I was going to say, you will tell me.
I know.
The first one is cauliflower.
How do people say it? Cauliflower.
Cauliflower or cauliflower.
That would be incorrect. Yeah. It's cute, but it ain't right.
Norm Macdonald famously always said cauliflower.
To mock it?
I don't know, and I never knew if he was joking or if that was the way he pronounced it.
I think Norm Macdonald is always joking.
Yes.
Often about serious things.
Yes.
Cauliflower. Like flower.
Yeah, cauliflower. Yeah, dang it. This is hard.
There's a third pronunciation. Ryan's working on it right now.
Three states have made this list.
3 states.
3 states.
Illinois.
No.
Because that's wrong.
So Illinois is on the list, though, but that's not one of the pronunciations.
Illinois.
You got it.
Oh, gosh.
It's either Illinois or Illinois.
Yes, it's Illinois if you're from there and you know what you're saying. It's Illinois if you're like, I don't care.
Yes, you got it.
When broadcasters here say Illinois.
I
have a lot of thoughts about that.
Yes.
I'm not going to say it.
The other one is the state that we are currently in.
Missouri.
Missouri. Now, that's a weird one because it is very much just where you live.
I don't know any Illinois people who say Missouri, though.
That
is a Missouri thing.
It's a Missouri thing.
Or should I say Missouri?
No, it's a Missouri thing, but it's not even in the major cities because Kansas City and St. Louis don't say Missouri.
Yeah, I believe that.
So it is a rural Missouri thing to say Missouri. The last state on the list is Oregon.
Oregon?
Yeah, Oregon. Some people must say that. I don't really
What
hear
do the
that much.
Oregonians say?
I don't
Oregonians.
know. It doesn't say. It just says the 2 pronunciations.
Oregon. I would say it like Gen, Oregon.
All right, here's one for you that I think has a definite wrong and right. Coupon.
Coupon?
No.
Is that the other one?
No. The other one is
Coupon.
No, that's for crazy people.
You've got it. Yes, I think that we would all agree that coupon is superior, at least, if not downright correct.
Coupon.
All right.
Sounds like Q-tip. I don't know.
I wish I could just hold these words up and have you guys pronounce them.
Hold them up.
How about this one right here? I'll point at it on the camera. Can you see it?
Pajamas.
You got it. Which
pajamas
one do you say?
Is refined.
Which one do you say?
Pajamas. PJs.
Do you know anybody that says pajamas?
Jammies. Yeah. I think so. I think my sister-in-law from Wisconsin says it, so maybe it's the refined Wisconsinians. No, what about being from Wisconsin indicates rural?
Well, I'm
pretty sure she's as suburban as I am.
Just picturing her in the woods. I don't know.
You don't even know what she looks like. Knock it off. This is weird.
The woods in her pajamas.
Yeah.
Drinking her pop.
Jammies, PJs, pajamas.
Would you say that because she's from Wisconsin and maybe they say pajamas up there, that it's a little cheesier? Thank you very. Oh my gosh, that was solid gold right there.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Next one.
You would.
Envelope.
Envelope.
Do you say envelope?
I probably say envelope, but envelope. I don't know. That one to me is neither.
Very good. Hey,
Envelope.
You just made the highlight reel as well.
Of my show?
Of your own show.
Go on.
All right, this one is very personal to me because I had a comic strip that ran in Southern Illinois newspapers for 11 years, and it was called Sherbert.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, many people
will
say
sherbet.
that there is no second R, in Sherbert.
Yeah, I
that
say
it's
sherbet.
Sherbet.
Yeah, sherbet.
In fact, there are very few cartons of sherbet that still say sherbet on them. They almost all say sherbet. But I'm telling you right now that it's wrong, and it's sherbet is the right pronunciation.
I'll support you in that.
That is why I called the comic strip that.
Just to try to gain some ground.
Yeah, just because it bothered me so badly when people said sherbet.
Yeah. Pecan versus pecan.
That's
just a geographical thing.
Is it?
One of my, I think maybe Evelyn, who's my 10-year-old, says pecan, and I'm like, well, what is your problem?
But it's different in
who are
different
you
scenarios.
around?
Because if you say pecan pie.
People say that, but I would still say pecan pie.
Exactly.
I would not say. There's no instance where I'm saying pecan.
Oh, you never say pecan.
No.
Oh, I do.
That's because I'm from central western Illinois.
Well, I say it if I'm eating pecans, but if I'm eating pecan pie, I say pecan.
No, I think more people say pecan pie that would say pecan normally.
Yeah, and the same is with route. If you're on Route 66 or Route 3, it depends on the number.
Caramel.
That's on here.
Caramel.
I do both on that too. If I see it written, I'll say caramel.
Yeah. I had a grandma who had a sister whose name was Carmel, so we were raised in the ways of caramel. You got any more of these?
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll journey back to it later on the show. We've got Trey Gowdy coming up in the 1 o'clock hour and Catherine Hanaway. Don't go away. Civia Law online at civialaw.com. That's SIVIA. Todd Civia at Civia Law is waiting for your phone call. 833-995-WILL. That's 833-995-WILL. Let me tell you a little bit about Todd Civia. He helped my husband and I establish our trust, and it was a really important thing to go through. It was kind of intimidating at first. First of all, we're in our 40s, and I think we were 40 when we first established it. Might have been super late 30s, but it's kind of like, gosh, are we old enough? Do we have enough assets to even bother with this? We got kids, and we need to make sure that we have a plan set in place where probate doesn't come up and eat up time, eat up money, and make decisions that we absolutely want to make for ourselves. Todd Civia helps you navigate those situations. Also, if you're somebody who has a child who's gone off to college recently, get those powers of attorney established and do it quickly. 833-995-WILL. Mention Annie and be one of the first 10 callers right now and get that strategy session free. CiviaLaw.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Change mapped out by the president. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump just signing an executive order to change the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America as a trade dispute with Canada continues.
We can't let the whole Canadian thing that's been going on for decades, and it has to come to a stop.
He says the U.S. has been losing billions of dollars a year and that Canada treats some U.S. industries unfairly.
We love the people of Canada. I don't think their representatives do an appropriate job. Maybe they'll change. I really don't know. It doesn't make much difference.
Canadian officials have blamed the U.S. for a breakdown in trade talks, responding to higher U.S. tariffs by announcing retaliatory tariffs. Taking questions in the Oval Office, the president also telling reporters Iran is in deep trouble, that the Strait of Hormuz is open, and that the U.S. is not looking to meet with Iran, which still insists it's controlling the strait and remains defiant after new U.S. sanctions aimed at isolating the regime economically. A jury in Massachusetts now deliberating the case against Lindsay Clancy, charged with killing her 3 young children before attempting to kill herself.
Some interesting moments from closing arguments. We'll begin with the prosecution, who described the case as a situation where Clancy was in control on the day of the killings, that she purposely sent her ex-husband Patrick out of the home to run family errands, and 18 minutes later he called. They had a normal conversation, but before that conversation, the prosecution claims she had already killed the kids. Then after that conversation is when she attempted to kill herself. Clancy was emotional throughout closing arguments. As she listened to her lawyer, Kevin Reddington, he described her as a hardworking mother, wife, and nurse who tried desperately to get better while struggling with her mental health.
Fox's Nick Foy at the courthouse in Plymouth. Clancy pleaded not guilty by reason of lack of criminal responsibility. America is listening to Fox News.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We have some pretty nice weather this afternoon and through Friday with a weak northwest flow. Sunny skies, 88 for the high today. Then tonight, clear skies dropping through the 80s this evening. Wonderful overnight, 64. Friday, sunny and 88. Saturday, we transition back to summer. Sunny skies Saturday, upper 80s to near 90. Sunday, sunny, hot and humid, 98. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Appreciate you being with us in this afternoon. We've got a lot going on today, of course, and we've got a guest coming up here that is going to talk to us about what is taking place in that settlement. Big announcement yesterday regarding the Meta settlement, and you have states' attorneys general joining together forces to ensure that a verdict is reached on behalf of the people who do feel as though they've been victimized by the policies that are put in place. Here's Rob Bonta reacting to the settlement.
No more waiting. For all users under 18, Meta has agreed to set a default daily time limit of 2 hours that will drop to 1 hour if other social media platforms agree to similar terms. Set a default block between midnight and 6 a.m. when our children should be sleeping, not scrolling. Set a default block on notifications between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. and during the school day, again, when our children should be sleeping and studying, not scrolling. The company will create an enhanced mechanism for teens to report potentially harmful content and has agreed to respond to 90% of those reports within 6 hours.
So Rob Bonta, the California Attorney General, reacting to this case, and a lot of states came together to join in on this effort, and Missouri's Attorney General was one of them. Catherine Hanaway joins us now to talk about this news headline: Meta to pay up to $17 billion and implement sweeping child safety reforms on Instagram and Facebook. Catherine Hanaway, thank you for being with us today. This seems like a pretty big victory on behalf of those states that brought this lawsuit.
Annie Frey, thanks for having me. And before I talk about Meta, I just want to say that I met one of your sponsors last week.
Oh, yeah?
Chuck McDowell of Leslie Financial. You should have him on as a guest. He is an incredible American success story and just an incredible character in his own right.
Awesome.
If you haven't followed him on Instagram,
We will do that. I think that when I saw that this Meta story was in the news once again, I'm always a little skeptical about, what are we actually trying to accomplish at the end? How is this actually supposed to protect kids? Catherine, you know that I have 4 kids myself. I have 2 of them that do have Facebook accounts, one of them that has an Instagram account. It's like a fourth job for me to manage their access to these platforms to make sure that it is a healthy experience for them. It's a labor of love, of course, but it looks like the law system here is stepping in to ensure that the companies have their best interest at heart as well.
this is a great settlement, but I don't want to overpromise on anything here because it's only a settlement with Meta. And so it's Facebook and it's Instagram. It's not YouTube, TikTok, Discord, Snapchat. But what's interesting about the settlement, there's many interesting aspects to it. One of those interesting aspects is it incentivizes us as attorneys general to go after all those other companies. If we just stop right here, Missouri gets $100 million. If we go after those other platforms and get them to agree to similar restrictions as the California AG was just describing, we get $150 million just from Meta. So it's really structured in a pretty smart way. Now, obviously, it's in Meta's best interests if its competitors have to abide by the same rules, but it's good for kids if all those other platforms have to abide by the same rules. And to me, the highlights of it are that the kids can't be using it overnight, that they're blocked between midnight and 6 a.m., no push notifications during school, and these time limits, and it is a total of 2 hours, but they get pauses along the way, starting at 15 minutes, so that kids just don't doom scroll head down for a solid 2 hours, plus all the content restrictions. And I kind of analogize it to, if you knew that a bunch of criminals and perverts and people who were going to belittle your daughters and talk to them about their body image were hanging out at the mall, you'd never let your kids go to that mall.
Amen.
You just wouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's
let
kind of
alone
what's
let them into their
online.
bedrooms at night,
Right.
all through the night. Like, good grief, you think about some of that type of analogy of, because that's the reality of it. That's not like the excessive worst case scenario of what these platforms are providing, the opportunity they're providing to these perverts, to our children. That's an everyday occurrence in America.
It is, and the other company that we're currently investigating, and you'll see some action on soon, is Roblox, which is a kids gaming platform, and they have not done enough to prohibit predators from being on there.
Yeah, Roblox has never been allowed in our house, and there's a parenting in a tech world Facebook group, ironically, that I am in, and just the way. They're very harmless systems that are set up initially, but the access that it provides people who understand these systems and the way that it navigates gives these predators and these perverts access to children, it is mind-blowing that these companies have been in the past permitted to do this. So it's good to see some of these restrictions being, the pressure being put on these companies to stop this from happening. Can you tell me, we're speaking with Catherine Hanaway, Missouri Attorney General, can you tell me any of the discovery that was made during this trial, real situations that were discussed potentially within these companies? How much knowledge did they have that these are dangerous platforms for kids?
So our case did not get to the point of discovery. New Mexico went all the way through trial, and I suspect that we would have seen a lot of the same things. And there was a high level of awareness by Meta that there were people online grooming kids, the impact that activity online was having on the body image of young girls, the fact that people were trying to manipulate that body image for commercial purposes, and in the worst case scenarios that, you know, kids got feeling so bad about themselves that they actually ended their lives.
Yeah.
And there was awareness by the company, and I think that that's why they were willing to settle.
I think that that pressuring these companies to do better business practices, to be more aware and take action. It's one thing to be aware of it and kind of discuss it, try to dismiss it, or do the bare minimum to protect our kids. We're talking about, you know, children here. It's not all of these problems that exist with children, they really actually exist with adults too, but we entrust adults to make decisions for themselves as to how much screen time is too much screen time, and we don't want to see these companies preying upon these children who don't have fully developed brains, and where this can be very detrimental to them. Can you talk to me about you know, as somebody who I've recognized as a conservative, you want to protect the rights of Missourians and of Americans. Where does your job end and parents' job begin when it comes to watching our children on these social media platforms?
Well, I would actually put the parents way in front of me. Like, it is primarily the parents' job. And if parents knew what their kids are getting subjected to online, I commend you for being engaged and having some sense of it. My kids now are 28 and 24. But when they were of the age to be on these platforms, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of work. And I know I didn't always keep up with them, but our son in particular, when we saw a couple of troubling things, we actually mirrored his phone to my husband's phone so that everything that happened there, we were watching. And I know it was a little embarrassing for both of them, like as, you know, our son was asking the first girl out and that kind of thing, but it really was important, and we tried to, as well as we could, keep up with them. Government needs to step in at the point where the corporate giants are just too big and they're coming down and sitting on parents and making it impossible for parents to do their jobs because this stuff is ubiquitous and it's everywhere. And that's where we can flex our muscles and use law enforcement tools to go after these great big companies.
Would you say, I mean, we've talked about predators using these platforms to access children. They're very smart. They know what they're doing, and they do it over and over and over again. If they can't get to your kid, there's another kid that they can get to. Have these companies, have these platforms, has Meta been predatory?
Boy, that's a tough question. I mean, look, they have been in the sense that they have allowed it to go on their platform, and is turning a blind eye, or not even, it's you know, sort of worse than that, knowing and letting it happen, predatory. Everybody can reach their own conclusion. What I know is we're going to try and prevent it in the future. And the other really important thing is there's an audit provision in this settlement agreement where Meta has to pay a high-quality auditor we can all agree on to make sure that they're abiding by all these rules I just listed off, and they're not letting kids circumvent the age identification requirements or use VPNs. And I'd love to be able to do that from the Attorney General's office. We'll never have enough money, computer scientists, data scientists. So I'm so glad we've put it back on the company to pay for all of that. And if the auditor finds violations, they can report them back out to us as attorney generals, and we can file new lawsuits. So we are going to keep watching, and there's no time limit on these restrictions on Meta.
We're speaking with Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway. $17 billion is a ton of money for, you know, us listening to this story and reading this. Like, gosh, that's a huge amount of money. How much money is that in the context of what Meta is as a business? Was this an easy decision for them, a smart financial decision for them to settle for $17 billion as opposed to what could have happened should they have gone to trial?
Yeah, so it was probably a pretty easy decision for them. They're a massive company. This is not going to cripple them in any way. But we had to, as attorneys general, we had to look at the other side. If we went to trial in all these states, could we have gotten the restrictions? We might have gotten a little more money, one state at a time, but we wouldn't have gotten all these restrictions. It would be difficult to get a jury to order Meta to pay for an auditor. They wouldn't be the same from state to state. And so having one settlement that applies to 47 states with real, restrictions on what they can do with kids was very, very important. The other thing is Missouri has not spent one dime on going after this case. We didn't have to hire outside counsel. Had we gone to trial, we're talking about millions of dollars that we would have had to spend before we saw anything come in. And one other point, some people, and including our office, has compared it a little bit to the tobacco settlement. It's not anything like the tobacco settlement. The tobacco settlement was bigger, but you know what? We still haven't gotten paid for 2006 in the tobacco settlement. We're 20 years behind. Meta's going to have to start paying right away. There's no disputing the number, except that it can go up a little bit if we go after those other companies. So I think this is a great settlement for Missouri. I wouldn't have signed it if I didn't.
So $17 billion, how much of that goes to Missouri? And my understanding is the states get to determine what to do with those funds. What does Missouri get, and what are they going to do with it?
So it's $100 million minimum. It could go up to $150 million. It's paid over 10 years. I'm going to advocate that some of it go into general revenue and that the legislature spend it on additional efforts to prevent kids from being targeted online. Some of it I'm going to advocate goes into our consumer fraud fund, because those are the teams that work on these kinds of cases here. And I love that I'm one part of government that actually generates some revenue so that we can fund some of our own operations.
Yeah, very well said. Well, I appreciate this advocacy on behalf of our kids, because this is, you said it correctly when I asked you about the parent balance with government in this instance, but these companies are so big and they're so ahead of the game. I can tell you that I'm working very hard and very diligently to try to keep up with all of this as a parent. It's nearly impossible. The parent is always the bad guy, because if your kid's on Snapchat, if your kid's on Roblox, if your kid's on TikTok, and Facebook and Instagram and all of these other, there are just so many predatory avenues towards the kids. They're being utilized, and hopefully this will help put a stop to it, to give parents a little more strength behind saying no when it's time to say no.
Annie, you're just the greatest. Thank you for being an advocate for kids and for conservatives and for parents. It's such a pleasure to be on with you.
Well, we love having you. Come back soon. Catherine Hanaway, thank you for the time today.
See you.
Take care. Catherine Hanaway is the Attorney General for the state of Missouri, one of the attorneys general that filed that lawsuit against Meta and scored that $17 billion settlement that, as you heard her say there, the way that they are going to implement that, it's going to go back to Missourians and help them combat more of this. So keep it right here. We're going to speak with Trey Gowdy. Let's see, what time is it? We got 10 minutes till Trey Gowdy is on with us. He's got a new book out, and I'm interested to talk to him about his venture into fiction writing, which is a follow-up, a sequel to his first book. The first book, The Color of Death, his latest book, The Sound of Regret. Very compelling story. Trey Gowdy will be with us at 1:30. We'll also ask him about the Lindsay Clancy trial, as the jury is now deliberating. And yes, we are on verdict watch, but Lord knows how long that could take. Keep it right here on the Annie Frey Show, the YouTube live chat poll. We're asking you today, do you support congressional term limits? A lot of discussion about the midterms. How do you feel about term limits? YouTube.com/@AnnieFrey. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll and text us your thoughts at 314-241-9797. We'll be right back. So I've been talking to you about the exercise coach, my experience of going to the exercise coach 2 times a week. I know some people who go a little bit more than that. The exercise coach is the workout that you have been looking for. Let me champion the 20-minute complete total full package workout. 20 minutes. Man, if you want to talk about a quality usage of your time, you get that scheduled on your calendar and it doesn't look like, oh gosh, I got to spend an hour at the gym. And you get done spending an hour at the gym and you're like, did I even do this right? Did I even do a full workout? You get a complete and total full strength building workout with the experts at the Exercise Coach in 20 minutes time. I love it. I would say I'm pretty fit for my age at 42, but I am being challenged when I go there, and it adjusts for me on any given day. It adjusts for you on any given day. It doesn't matter your age. If you're looking to build strength, to age with more confidence, with health, and also 20 minutes time, the Exercise Coach is for you. Experience the Exercise Coach difference for yourself. Mention Annie when you reach out to them. You're going to get your first 2 sessions free. All you got to do is go online and search the Exercise Coach near me. That's the Exercise Coach near me. That's what you put in the Google search, and you'll find one of the 8 greater St. Louis area locations. Try out the Exercise Coach and see the difference for yourself.
If I had one ask of the administration, it would be that stop having photo ops in the competitors' restaurants and come to ours more often.
Yeah, so what does it feel like when RFK Jr. says he gets onto Air Force One and he sees boxes and boxes of McDonald's?
Yeah, darn it. If he only knew.
There you go. There's your next move, my friend.
Yeah. CNN covering a news story here. There's a news story. Burger King's in the news. Real quick. Burger King, give it a grade.
C.
C.
They are the average.
Room for improvement.
Oh, yeah.
What do you get at Burger King?
I probably am going to get their, 5 for $5 or whatever they do. I don't go there very often, though.
5 of what?
It was like a burger and a couple of nuggets and
2
fries
nuggies?
And a drink. I can't remember if there's anything else. It's probably a cookie or something. I don't know. All the restaurants have their own little versions of that, and they're constantly changing them. So I can't even tell you that they're doing that right
Burger
now.
King U.S. and Canada President Tom Curtis and head chef Amy Alarcon discussed the fast food giant's turnaround strategy, highlighting an 8.5% sales jump, restaurant upgrades, and a new chicken nugget launch on Mornings with Maria. So they came on to Fox Business to do this. They're on CNN. I think it's funny how chill he is. Being like, President Trump's not talking about McDonald's. Like, Burger King's got a little chip on their shoulder, but he doesn't seem to be particularly mad. He's just like, will you eat a Whopper, man? I'm sure Trump would be like, sure, I'll eat a Whopper.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's McDonald's is very particular. That's what I feel like Burger King is lacking, is that you're just getting the stuff that's kind of you can get at the store. I don't feel like they have. Their Whopper is a little bit unique.
Burger King is giving its chicken nuggets a makeover after customers told the fast food chain the product was falling short. The company said it received thousands of calls, texts, and comments from guests earlier this year criticizing its nuggets as, quote, rubbery, dry, and disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like your job review.
I'm interested to see. Thank you for calling me at least rubbery. The rest of that stuff's not that great.
Disappointing was my word.
Yeah. You added disappointing?
I don't know what Ethan meant by rubbery, but I did not want to know, so I just let
I don't
that be.
either if it was Ethan. I am interested to find out what they're doing with those nuggets.
The revamped nuggets, along with a refreshed revamped nugget sounds like a band name, along with a refreshed lineup of dipping sauces, will be available beginning September 1st.
Did you know that I always wanted to start a band called Right in the Nuggets?
God dang it. He said, we take guest feedback seriously, and when we receive thousands of texts, how bad do your nuggets have to be to get thousands of comments?
They're not that good.
Most people are just like, this food sucks, and then you just don't get it again. It was so bad, people are like, I have to tell them.
It was like,
how do you even tell Burger King?
Here's the problem.
Who are you texting?
They did them in multiple forms. Their nuggets were not just nuggets. They also did chicken finger fries.
Nah, I don't need a... Yeah. Yes,
You're
stop
like,
shaping my chicken.
Just give me a really good beer-battered nugget, although McDonald's because it has that cornered.
Alarcon said Burger King evaluated the chicken, breading, and sauces as part of the overhaul and brought customers into the testing process, including children. The company described as some of its toughest critics. For consumers, the chain extend beyond the nuggets themselves. Burger King is also updating 3 of its established dipping sauces, honey mustard, buffalo, and sweet and sour, while adding a limited-time special savory sauce. The new sauce combines creamy, tangy, and mildly spicy flavors with barbecue seasoning, ketchup, garlic, onion, and black pepper. The nugget revamp is the latest example of Burger King leaning on direct customer feedback as it looks to improve both its menu and restaurant experience. Earlier this year, the chain launched a listening initiative designed to give customers a more direct way to weigh in on the brand. This is how you contact and text Burger King, I guess. They have since pointed to that feedback while rolling out changes to products, including its signature Whopper and other aspects of the great experience of the guest experience. So Burger King is like trying to make a play. I love it when they're like, "You said something sucks, and we listened. We fixed it."
Well, the market would have to be dictating that because I'm a fast food nut. I love fast food.
That's why I did this story. It's for you.
But Burger King just doesn't offer anything. They're just there.
You gonna try their nuggies?
Oh, I'll try anything once.
Sounds like a threat.
We'll see. Because if they are all doing lip service and they didn't really change much, they just don't have anything that's that unique. The Whopper is like the only thing you could say is somewhat identifiable.
It's like the alternative version to everything you can get at McDonald's, but McDonald's is the standard bearer. That doesn't mean that it would be bad. Like
no.
we talk all the time, like if you want a cheeseburger, if you want I want a cheeseburger, you don't go get a McDonald's cheeseburger. But there will be times you're like, I want a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And you can't get that anywhere else. You can get a great cheeseburger at a lot of places.
Yes.
But you can only get a McDonald's cheeseburger at one.
And if you think about other restaurants, White Castle, Steak and Shake, Wendy's even, you know kind of what their fries are if you've been there in the last couple months. Burger King, I barely remember. I think they're just fries. They just look like fries. There's nothing to them.
What do you want them to be shaped?
Well, with Wendy's,
Like
you have
chicken
like the
fingers?
edge of the potatoes still on it when they fry it, and so they look unique too, and they're pretty good. Steak and Shake has the shoestring fries. White Castle has the crinkle fries. They have. They all
You
are
sound
identifiable.
Like Bubba Gump.
So
crinkle
so
fries,
particular.
potato skin fries,
And I'm a fan.
shoestring
I'm
fries,
rooting for you, Burger King, but you haven't done anything. Hopefully this
Burger
is
King
a
fries,
real turnaround for them.
Annie Frey.
Oh, that's your name.
Trey Gowdy on the Annie Frey Show next. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I have started the show talking about Lindsay Clancy and basically how I don't like to talk about Lindsay Clancy in this trial because I'm a mom of 4 and I just can't. I said my soul cannot bear the burden of the details of this story. I know, but a lot of people listening to the show and around the country, around the world probably are following this story. And so we're going to talk about it here with our next guest in a little bit. But we're first going to bring Trey Gowdy on to the air with us, host of Fox News Sunday Night in America with Trey Gowdy, and talk about the story that he has written that is a sequel to his original book, Color of Death, the new book coming out now, The Sound of Regret. Trey Gowdy, thank you for being on the air with us today. It's great to have you on the show.
Hey, Annie, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I want to talk to you first about the book before I talk about the Lindsay Clancy story, because there is so much heart and emotion for people who are consuming this story on the outside looking in, but we don't know what it's like to be in the drudge of a courtroom for as long as all of the jury has been in there and everything they've witnessed and everything we've seen. We're not as privy to that as they are. You've done that many times as a prosecutor, and you've put your heart and soul into a fiction story that people can read. And I hear such great reviews about the writing and the storytelling. How much emotion of yours, personal emotion, Trey Gowdy, goes into writing a story that isn't a real story? How much real, though, is in these fiction stories?
There's a lot. If you look at the dedication, it's to a young man named Ricky Tyrone Samuel. He was a real witness of mine. I sat down with Ricky and his mom and said, you have a choice. You can spend the next couple of decades in federal prison, or you can put on a wire and help me, and I'll help you. And he trusted me, and he wound up being executed as a result of it. So I want folks to know the criminal justice system is not all you just mentioned a trial. People can watch that. What they haven't watched was the investigation leading up to it, the interaction between the prosecutors and the cops, the prosecutor and the witnesses. The first book I wrote, The Color of Death, was more about that unique relationship that prosecutors and victims have, including victims that you've never met because you're a homicide prosecutor. This one is a little bit about that too, but it's also about the witnesses. I mean, we don't choose to be witnesses. I mean, imagine you're a bank teller. Somebody comes in and robs your bank. You did not choose to be a witness. You don't choose to be burglarized or sexually assaulted. But if you survive, you're a witness. And witnesses have tough choices to make. And prosecutors do, and they don't always get it right.
Yeah. And I mean, that's something I'm thinking of, just witnessing the Clancy trial, which is the one that I had referred to earlier, about there are so many individual stories that come together in that courtroom. Of course, everybody is looking at the defendant and watching the prosecution do what they do on behalf of the people who are aggrieved. But there are jurors and there's a judge and, there's a bailiff. There's all of these people whose stories come together, and they're all impacted by this one trial. And, I'm wondering if that is tied into these stories that you're telling. If these are really valuable stories, people need to understand that it's bigger than just maybe what gets served up in snippets on television.
Oh, it changes your life. I was talking to Dana Perino and Bill Malugin this morning about whether or not I thought the lawyers were doing a good job. The challenge is the jury has no idea whether they're doing a good job or not. It's the only time they'll ever be a juror. I mean, they don't have anything to compare it to. So for most people, look, I mean, for 16 years, I had to look at the crime scene photos. That's something else the public hasn't seen. So all the folks that are out there protesting largely in her behalf, have you seen the autopsy photos? Do you know how long it takes to strangle someone? Have you ever felt the life leave someone's body? That's look, I mean, I'm not telling folks what the verdict ought to be. They can make up their own minds. I think this one's interesting. It's really not a battle of lawyers. It's a battle of the doctors. And so much of our criminal justice system has become about science now. It's not who the best lawyer. I'd rather have good facts than have a good lawyer.
Yeah.
And the doctors are going to be what determines this case, not the lawyers.
We're speaking with Trey Gowdy. He is, of course, host of Fox News Sunday Night in America with Trey Gowdy, and his new book, Sound of Regret, is out now. Of course, you've served in Congress. You were a former federal prosecutor as well. When you're putting together this sequel, The Sound of Regret, when you decided you needed to tell a second story to follow up The Color of Death, what was the impetus for that for you?
I'll make a confession to you, Annie. I'll let you be my priest. It was all one book in my mind. From start to finish, it was one book. And my publisher and my agent and other people much, much smarter than me said, that's not one book, Trey. That's 3 books. So I can tell you right now how the 3rd book ends because it was all one continuous story for me. It wasn't like I wrote the Color of Death and said, you know what, people seem to like it. I think I'll write The Sound of Regret. It was always there. It's just a question of, number one, did people like the first one? If they didn't, don't punish them and write a second one. If they do like it, then I literally could, the entire next book is in my head. So it was just sitting down at my computer and typing out what has existed really for a decade in my mind, which was this one continuous story about a prosecutor and a waitress and all the things that go into our criminal justice system.
So when you consume, you've got so much more insight on. I'm sure that you can navigate the snippets that the rest of us who don't understand all the work. You talk about. I remember in previous conversations you had, you're like the work is in the investigation, and then the courtroom might be the thing that's served up to the public, if it is served up to the public the way it is right now. But there's just so much work and effort and strife, really, like emotion that goes into that moment that culminates in the courtroom. How do you bring somebody who's listening to the show who maybe is entertained by true crime or people who have witnessed some very high-profile cases? The Kohlberger case is one that comes to mind. The Murdaugh case, which is another one that comes to mind. How does this story aid people who watch these things? How does it aid them in consuming what's happening in real life when they read The Color of Death and now The Sound of Regret?
We have an incredible system. It gets it right most of the time, but it is not a joint pursuit of the truth. We arrive at the truth through the clashing of swords. It's an adversarial system. Other countries have different systems. It's more inquisitorial. Ours is adversarial. So the notion, if you ever hear a defense attorney stand up and say this is a joint pursuit of the truth, you should laugh. Anything that's a joint pursuit of the truth doesn't give the right to remain silent to one of the most important witnesses in the case. So Lindsay Clancy didn't testify, right? So everyone wants to hear her explanation, but our system says, you know what? It's not that. It's adversarial government. You got to prove it even without the most important witness. So, how many times have I heard people say, I think they did it, but it wasn't proven? So to your average listener, it's, my gut instinct tells me they're guilty. Can your gut instinct say, I think, but it wasn't proven to me beyond a reasonable doubt? For that matter, Annie, what does that phrase even mean? If I were to ask you to define what does beyond a reasonable doubt mean, most people can't do it. Most judges can't do it. So how do we expect juries to do it? Except the good news is they almost always get it right.
Yeah. Trey Gowdy speaking with us. His new book out now, The Sound of Regret, a sequel to The Color of Death. I encourage you to check that out wherever you get your books from. Do you feel that the televising of a Clancy trial or any of these other high-profile trials that kind of consume the news in various periods, do you have any opinion on the value or devaluing of the process when it's on TV all the time?
I have a couple of thoughts. We know about this case because it captured the public attention. What we don't know, equally horrific fact patterns that haven't captured the public attention. These kinds of trials are going on in courthouses all across the country right now. It's just unusual to me which missing person we focus on. There are lots of missing young women. Which ones do we focus on? And do we show disproportionate preference for blue-eyed blondes over women of color? I think the evidence indicates we probably do. It is really unusual for mothers to kill their children. That is unusual, and most mothers cannot fathom it. But yet we have Andrea Yates on one end of the spectrum, and we have Susan Smith on the other. No one thinks that Susan Smith was in a state of psychosis. She just didn't want her kids anymore. Andrea Yates was found not guilty by reason of insanity. I think she's still confined. What I find fascinating, and what I bet most of your listeners want to know, is middle ground in this case. If we don't think it was flat out murder, which, by the way, does not require premeditation, but most people think it does, is there something that doesn't, let her take the elevator down to the first floor with us? And I think the jury ordinarily is never talked to about punishment. They're not told what the punishment is. In this case, if they decide that she's mentally ill, postpartum, to me, denotes that after the birth, maybe things get better. Is she going to be released in 2 years? Is that the right proportionate sentence for someone who systematically, Annie, it takes a lot of effort to strangle someone. It's not a shooting someone with a .22 caliber rifle from a couple hundred yards away. This is as intense and personal, with a possible extent of stabbing, of any way to kill someone. And she did it 3 different times, systematically. It takes commitment, it takes effort, it takes time. It doesn't happen immediately. You're literally watching the life go out of a child. But that same voice reminded her to ask for her lawyer. So I would have tried this case very differently from the way the prosecutors did it. I watched the defense closing today. I thought randomness and chaos was his theory, which is not a good theory, by the way, if you're defending someone. But again, the jury doesn't know what a good lawyer is if it's their first time in court.
Yeah. I mean, I think that where I sit from this, when I'm viewing it, there is a compulsion that I have, I think probably as a mother, to understand, because it is so beyond my understanding. It is so beyond my mental reach to consume what she did. And if there's anything out there that I just cannot comprehend, there's like this yearning to want to understand it so that I can pretty much compare it to my life to ensure that I would never be in a position. If I understand it more, then I can defend against it better. But I just, I don't know how that affects the jury.
I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell my wife. My wife is the kindest, sweetest, most Christ-like person I've ever met in my life. And she's married to a hopeless cynic. And she wants to know, why? How could anyone? She doesn't understand how somebody can just be gratuitously mean to someone.
Yeah.
But when I walk in and say, honey, I'm prosecuting a man who raped his 3-month-old daughter, of course her first question is why. And of course my first answer is, honey, you will never understand that. Can you understand why someone would take a long gun and shoot a stranger from a distance? We want to know, but even when you're explaining the motive, you don't say, okay, now I get it. I understand it now. You will never understand evil and depravity and malice. I get our fixation with motive, but you know who talks about motive the least? Prosecutors. Because we have never understood how you could hurt a child. I mean, putting a child in scalding hot bathwater. Well, I mean, if you don't want the kid, leave the house, put it up for adoption, give it away. I don't care what you do. Don't burn it. Don't kill it. Yeah. But so you will never understand how someone could do what Susan Smith or Lindsay did. I get why you want to, because that's our nature to understand. You don't have it in you to understand what she did.
Yeah. Well, I think that what I really love about the books that you're writing here with The Sound of Regret and being the sequel to your first foray into this fiction writing, The Color of Death, is I think you're painting an incredible picture of the humans that are involved in this process, because what you do as a federal prosecutor is what a lot of us couldn't even understand having to do, that it even has to be done. But of course, it's very necessary. And I encourage people to check out The Sound of Regret, especially if you read The Color of Death. and to learn more about what these humans involved in this very important part of our system, what they endure, their stories as well. And Trey Gowdy, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show with us, to hear your stories and your perspective. It's incredible and it's invaluable.
The pleasure is mine. I hate that I have to write a book to get to talk to you because that's too steep a price to pay, but I do appreciate you letting me on.
I just looked at my producer, so you'll be hearing from us. Trey Gowdy, thank you so much. Take care.
Yes, ma'am. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's not true. He doesn't have to write a book in order to talk to us, but yeah, we'll do what we can. Trey Gowdy, of course, I loved him as a congressman. I think it's kind of a bittersweet thing to know someone who has to shake the ick off of him from Washington, D.C. He's like, I can't do this anymore. I got to get out. That's kind of the way Trey Gowdy, he was at the top of his game when he was in Congress. And a lot of people have, criticized him for maybe not going as far as they wanted him to go with some of the investigations when he was involved there. But boy, have we found out how deep and mucky it was in D.C. when he was helping try to expose some of what was going on in the late Obama years and with Donald Trump coming into the picture. I mean, gosh, the swamp was sticky and icky, and he was there fighting against it. Great to have him on the show, Trey Gowdy. If you missed the interview in its full, you can run it back on the Annie Frey Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. And please consider checking out The Sound of Regret, the follow-up sequel to his original fiction debut, The Color of Death. Let's take a break here. YouTube live chat poll. We haven't really gotten to your feedback yet on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. So text us at 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. Do you support congressional term limits? We'll dip into your reaction on the Annie Frey Show next. Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com. The number is 314-271-9900. 314-271-9900. Have Matt Hayes, his incredible team, come check out what you're dealing with when it comes to foundation concerns, from the big jobs like waterproofing that basement to something simple, fixable in a day. You've got cracked concrete. It's uneven. It's a trip hazard. It's a safety liability. You need it fixed. What are you going to do? You hire Matt Hayes and Home Shield Foundation Repair to use a system called polyjacking. They take a polyurethane foam, inject it under the concrete, raise it up, level it out. 5-year warranty available on the polyjacking surface to make sure that your safety hazard is removed. But if it's something big, if it's a big job like a waterproofing, I want to encourage you to give Matt Hayes the opportunity to earn your business. He is the best, and he will come check out your system or situation and give you a system that will solve the problem, along with a lifetime warranty and the opportunity for 0% financing for up to 24 months. It's a great opportunity to call Home Shield Foundation Repair and get your problem solved now. 314-271-9900, online at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
Well, it's been a very full show today on the Annie Frey Show, so we haven't talked about the YouTube live chat polls much, but here you go. Do you support congressional term limits? Yes or no? let us know. That's your options. Just yes or no, but if there's any nuance to why or how you would like to implement that, like some of you are doing on the text line, let us know. 314-241-9797. It is 1:53. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Song also reminds me of Forrest Gump.
Is this in Forrest Gump?
Yeah, he's dancing with his braces on his legs when he's a kid. He's
Oh,
dancing,
yeah, it's real early.
trying to dance like Elvis Presley.
That's right.
The other thing that reminded me of Forrest Gump was when Ryan started listing off all the French fry kinds that each fast food restaurants with detail.
I didn't even mention McDonald's or KFC. McDonald's has McDonald's fries. KFC has
McDonald's
potato
has McDonald's
wedges.
fries?
I mean, that's what they are. They're just McDonald's fries. Everybody knows what they are. You don't need to see the package.
Burger King has Burger King
Burger
fries.
King has Burger King
Checkers.
fries. Checkers has Checker fries.
Steak and Shake has tallow
Rally's-
fries.
Yeah.
And Arby's has curly fries and waffle fries. Chick-fil-A has waffle fries. Actually, I'm not sure if Arby's still does.
Are you guys cereal eaters?
Yeah, lately I have been. I
Really?
go in phases.
What kind of cereal? What do you dabble in?
I really, really like Raisin Bran.
Okay.
He's so old.
Are you,
I know.
First of all, I've eaten Raisin Bran my whole life, and it's delicious. Except for I don't eat it now. I don't eat cereal at this point. But if I were going to be able to enjoy a cereal, Raisin Bran would be high on the list. Are you using it because you need to?
No, I just like Raisin Bran. I don't need to. I don't need to do anything. Nobody can tell me what to do. I just like eating it.
This is aggressively defensive.
I also like those
Makes
little...
me think that you are a little backed up.
I can't remember what the name of them are. They're like little pillow things. They're like little, and they're little cinnamon churro puffs. They're really good. Yeah, I know. My apologies for not being able more descriptive on those. What's your story about cereal? You had something.
Food manufacturing giant General Mills announced that all of its U.S. cereals offerings are now created without, quote, certified colors. The company said it intended to remove certified colors, which it notes are also known as synthetic color additives, from all of its U.S. products by the end of next year. With all U.S. cereals, including Lucky Charms and Trix, now free from certified colors, 90% of General Mills' U.S. retail portfolio has completed the transition, according to the food giant. The company remains on track to remove certified colors from its full U.S. retail portfolio by the end of 2027, including fruit snacks and baking products. Does it matter to you? Like if you're eating Trix or Lucky Charms, does it matter to you if it's got chemicals in it or if it doesn't?
Yeah. If it has uncertified colors in it, I like it. If it has certified colors, I'm like, ooh, I want my colors on the black market. In other words, I was making a joke, but I do care about having chemicals in the food. I wish they'd get rid of that drying agent that RFK was always talking about that they use on grain.
Would you use would you eat Lucky Charms and Trix?
No, I don't really like
Lucky
those.
Charms, man. That's so good. The last time I had Lucky Charms, I was a mess for like 2 days.
Oh, yeah?
I just felt totally crappy, bloated, like I felt like I had a hangover from Lucky Charms.
They should make the leprechaun tell you that.
I think if you eat enough, you start to see the leprechaun. That's kind of the way I was feeling. Annie, are you okay at 2:30? We'll be right back. Stewart's American Mortgage, the bagel loan guy. And if you reach out to Stewie at 314-324-4440, that's 314-324-4440. You can talk to him about a bagel loan. It's a mortgage, new or refi. that doesn't have any closing costs. He takes care of them for you. Yeah, it's real. No, it's not too good to be true. And right now, if you're looking at a 30-year purchase, a 30-year loan on a new home purchase, he's going to offer you a 1% discount on your interest rate for that first year. And the bagel loan. So no closing costs. This is a really, really smart move. If you're in the market to purchase a new home and you're getting that 30-year loan, reach out to Stewie and talk to him about how he can help you. He's going to set you up. He's going to explain every detail that you need. And that number that I'm giving you is a direct line to him. It's his phone number. It's the one in his pocket right now. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Reach out to Stewie. Tell him Annie sent you. You can Google the bagel loan for more information. NMLS number 226715.
It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's Mark Cox. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Bob and Tammy Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
I love this song. I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
From President Trump, I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. This is a trade dispute with Canada continues.
An executive order directs the U.S. Geographic Naming Agency to rename Lake Ontario to Lake America.
So if you think about it, we have a Gulf and we have a lake. Now all we need is an ocean.
President Trump's renaming of the Great Lake is the latest escalation in a trade war that has seen both the U.S. and Canada announce higher tariffs on each other.
They'll ask me, who's the worst to deal with on trade? And I said, that's easy, Canada. They are the worst to trade, and they feel entitled, and just we can't have that.
Canada is not forced to change the name of the lake, which creates a border between New York and Ontario.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The U.S. and Canada have blamed each other for a breakdown in trade talks. It's up to the jury at the murder trial of Lindsay Clancy, charged with murdering her 3 young children in Massachusetts just before jumping from a second-floor window. Prosecutor Jennifer Sprague suggesting Clancy was in control of her actions and lied about hearing a voice.
It says kill the kids so you can kill yourself. So she had to choose where, the basement. She had to choose how, strangulation. She had to choose with what, exercise ban. Choose again, exercise ban. Choose again, exercise ban. She had to choose how to kill herself.
Defense attorney Kevin Reddington telling the jury,
this young lady is not guilty of the killing of her children because she was suffering from a disease and defect, as His Honor instructed you. And they're not going to be able to prove otherwise. And it's their burden, not ours.
In addition to murder or not criminally responsible, the jury can also consider a manslaughter charge. America is listening to Fox News.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We have some pretty nice weather this afternoon and through Friday with a weak northwest flow. Sunny skies, 88 for the high today. Then tonight, clear skies dropping through the 80s this evening. Wonderful overnight, 64. Friday, sunny and 88. Saturday, we transition back to summer. Sunny skies Saturday, upper 80s to near 90. Sunday, sunny, hot and humid, 98. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Need a new HVAC system? Save up to $3,400 with double Carrier Cool Cash rebates. Limited time offer for free quote. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Frey.
So the YouTube live chat poll, we haven't talked about hardly at all because the show has just been very, very fast-paced today. Do you support congressional term limits? Yes or no? We'll get to your YouTube comments in the Annie Frey Show chat line here in a minute. So 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. If you want to text in the show, we've got Annie, Are You Okay? Coming up in 30 minutes. Trisha's going to join us in studio. But first, I've got a couple stories here that just, when I come across these, they make me mad because I didn't know this stuff was happening. So it's a good headline about something that is going to stop from happening in the future. But I'm like, wait a second, it was happening in the past. Alec Schemmel on FoxNews.com writes, Florida's new welfare assistance rules barring recipients from using benefits on tattoos, theme park admission, vapes, and more is a model for other states seeking to put common sense guardrails on welfare spending.
Wait.
Wait.
Theme park tickets?
Yeah, we're like, how do we get in?
I want some welfare. Give me on welfare.
Don't say that too loud, Ryan.
Steve?
Listen, Odyssey.
Hurry up.
I need theme park tickets.
Florida is becoming the first state to impose sweeping new limits on how welfare cash can be spent, blocking recipients from using cash assistance benefits loaded onto EBT cards for purchases like tattoos, theme park tickets, video games, vaping products, and other items not generally considered, quote, basic needs. Under a plan the Trump administration is urging other states to emulate.
What?
Florida Cash Assistance Program. They should have a segment called What?
Yeah, but we have Little John say it.
Okay. Get on that. If we knew someone who could image that together.
Yeah.
Florida's cash assistance program, known as Temporary Cash Assistance, TCA, is funded through the Federal Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program. It is separate from SNAP, the food assistance program, though families may receive both types of benefits through separate balances on the same EBT card. The Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families determined Florida's updated TANF plan to be complete Thursday in a letter sent to Ron DeSantis and obtained by Fox News Digital. The letter praised the Sunshine State governor for putting common sense restrictions on what it calls inappropriate luxury and non-essential purchases. Non-essential, I could argue that theme park tickets are.
Especially in Florida.
Yeah.
This is DeSantis?
DeSantis is putting an end to this.
Of course he is.
DeSantis said in announcing the policy, quote, taxpayer-funded assistance should help families put food on the table, keep the lights on, purchase clothing, provide for their children, and overcome barriers on the path toward independence. We will continue supporting Floridians who genuinely need assistance while working to improve accountability and transparency so that these programs operate as intended. How does this exist? I don't this just makes me crazy. I've heard of people buying things with EBT and selling things.
Yeah.
You know about this?
No,
do you do this? Is this part of your couponing strategy?
I can't tell you anything on the radio. This is something that
We're
I
not on the
knew
radio. It's just you and me, Ryan.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Why am I being paid? This doesn't make any sense now.
Your wife is paying us to keep you for a while.
I've known about the scam where people will sell their preloaded cards for money, for cash, and then they would use that cash for whatever they wanted. I don't understand how they're getting cash from the government and then using it to buy tattoos. How is that possible? Unless it's a card and these were carve-outs on the card that said, yes, you can buy tickets to Universal Studios with this welfare money.
Yeah, I don't understand how this stuff exists. And then, like I said, I hear it, that it exists, and then I'm furious that it has existed for as long as it actually has existed.
Well, you got to help the needy get vapes
and
tattoos. That's like if you're just like destitute, the first thing you're thinking is not, man, I need to get some food. You're thinking, I need to get a tattoo of my mom on my back.
Florida's separate Healthy Snap initiative, launched in April, barred recipients from using food benefits on soda, energy drinks, candy, and ultra-processed prepared desserts. It's like, so, like you can get health food that is ultra-processed or whatever, but it's like not the desserts. The new action from the Sunshine State with backing from the Trump administration, applies those same food limits to Florida's cash assistance program, which is funded through TANF, while adding restrictions on non-food purchases deemed non-essential. Gosh, like what really is essential? There's every time that one of these SNAP stories comes up and they're like, you can't buy soda, people are like, they like refer to it as dehumanizing.
Mm-hmm.
That because they aren't permitted to purchase soda with their welfare funds, that we're treating them like they're second-class citizens. And it's like, no, that's not it. You're as human as the rest of us, which is why we're giving you free money to buy food, to put on your table and in your baby's bellies. That's why we're giving this to you. If you want a soda, you can still have it. Go earn $2 and buy it.
How could you not let my baby have Mountain Dew?
I don't let my baby have Mountain Dew. Or juice.
Yeah, it's such a crazy argument. The dehumanizing. I haven't heard that word. I just keep hearing, when they say they limit the amount of things you can buy with SNAP benefits, people are like, what do you think, that these people are lesser than you? It's like, no.
No, that's why we're funding their health.
Yeah, we're giving them free money, and also they can still eat and buy those things. They just can't use other people's money given to them through coercion in the government to buy them.
Editorializing a little bit, but I mean,
that's what we do.
I don't know how many people listening are like, I disagree with that, Ryan.
It's because I'm right.
Hard to swallow. Think about this. This is from The Guardian. The future of snacking may be 3D printed cookies made from upcycled plastic. In the same day that we're doing a story, it's like, high fives all around. Trix isn't going to have fake colors in it anymore. Trix and Lucky Charms, no certified colors or whatever it's called anymore. NASA-funded project uses yeasts to turn plastics and other waste into edible proteins, fats, and flavorings. Cookies produced from upcycled plastic may sound like something straight out of a dystopian sci-fi plot. No, it does. But researchers say that they have succeeded in creating such a product as part of a NASA-funded project aimed at feeding astronauts or on future space missions. The technology uses specially designed yeasts to transform plastics and agricultural waste into edible proteins, fats, and flavorings. The resulting slurry is passed through a 3D printer to create a disc-shaped, quote, cookie.
That doesn't sound like a cookie.
Are you a scientist? You've got, what's Ketanji Brown Jackson like, I don't know what a woman is. I'm not a scientist, a biologist. And you're like, that doesn't sound like a cookie.
That sounds like tube slurry that's been blurted out onto a plate.
Are you familiar with the word slurry?
I think it's the stuff that they make
I said it
nuggets
here.
out
I
of.
read it. I've never heard it.
It's like a pasty, nasty goo.
wet.
Yeah.
Quote, my lab works on developing technologies for upcycling, for plastic upcycling, said, forgive me if I say this wrong, Dr. Lahiru Jayakody, a microbiologist at the Southern Illinois University in Carbondale.
Woo woo.
Southern
made
Illinois is
slurry
like,
cookies.
what if we ate plastic? RFK Jr. is like, you need to buy all glass bowls. Don't eat off of plastic. Don't microwave anything that is plastic. You need glass. You're eating microplastics. 1/5 of your body is now plastic because you've eaten leftovers microwave straight from the fridge. And NASA's like, how about cookies?
Okay, Lil Jon drop. What? Because how do you make plastic edible? I thought that they were joking at first, like, oh, they're making like a fake cookie out of a 3D printer.
No, they want you to consume. They want to be able to produce this, 3D print it in space for astronauts.
I'm not feeding that to my astronauts. They deserve better.
Kiss my astronaut. I'm not eating that.
Not kissing any astronauts.
It wasn't an offer to you. The team are yet to receive institutional sign-off to taste the plastic-derived cookies, but report that they, quote, receive high marks on aroma. This seems to be in its early stage.
This doesn't even sound like a cookie. Seriously, I'm mad about the definition of cookie here because that doesn't sound like some sort of Toll House thing that I would eat. It just sounds like some crap that they made into that shape.
Jayakody says, when an astronaut goes to Mars, they have to survive in extreme conditions. The round trip is 3 years. You have to use everything you have.
Make the spaceship out of gingerbread.
What's the name of the? I was going to make have to use everything you have. Water World.
Yes.
I was going to say, oh, you mean like Water World, but I was going to say Water Boy, and that's different. And then I had told my thought process on the air. It's just not very good radio.
Somebody should mash those together and have You Can Do It guy encouraging Kevin Costner.
You can
to
do
drink
it.
his pee.
And Kevin Costner's like, I don't want to do it. And he's like, you can do it. Anyway.
Thanks for that information.
Yeah,
about
little
plastic
SIUC
cookies.
NASA. I'm sad to say that it's about eating plastics, but hey, if it keeps us alive in our trek to Mars, okay. Anywho, your texts on the YouTube live chat poll. Do you support congressional term limits? Next, 314-241-9797. Vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Comment. Back in a minute. Air Comfort Service online at aircomfortservice.com. If you've got a furnace or an air conditioner that you know is not going to be cutting it here, you want to get Air Comfort Service out there right away to figure out what's going on, especially before it gets worse. I mean, maybe there's a repair that can prevent the replacement, and Air Comfort Service can assess that situation well for you. 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. It's an important phone number to have in your phone in case an emergency arises. When it happens, you're like, gosh, who do I call for this? It's not anything that you prepare for. Air Comfort Service is always there ready to take that phone call from you and provide you 24/7 emergency service. If it's a holiday, if it's a weekend, if it's night, it doesn't matter. They are eager to get your HVAC system up and running for you as soon as possible and get you back into your comfort zone. Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation has almost 60 years of serving the greater St. Louis area, my home included. I'm very proud to be a customer of theirs, and I encourage you to entrust your HVAC system in their hands. Whether it's residential or commercial, Air Comfort Service is ready to answer the call 24/7. Reach out to them at 314-513-0091, online at aircomfortservice.com. Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show, the YouTube live chat poll for today. Do you support congressional term limits? Yes or no? You can vote at youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. I am giving you the recommendation. Subscribe to the channel. If you turn on notifications when we go live every day at noon on YouTube, just log in and vote in the poll. It's right there in the live chat when we go live, and then you're counted right away. So any feedback over there on the YouTube live chat poll, Ryan, 314-241-9797 on the text line?
Yeah, on the poll, let me scroll down here. It says the first one says, yes, I do support congressional term limits. The second one I held back because I thought this is really interesting. It's not that often that I'll see a comment, whether it's on our YouTube page or stream or on the text line, that I think I have not thought of that at all, and it changed my opinion. So what this person says was, yes, 2 terms and no retirement and no lifetime health care. The reason why I think that is interesting is because I actually think that you could almost not worry about term limits and just get rid of the lifetime of benefits that come after a time of serving in office. And that would actually take care of some of the eternal people there, or people who are there for the wrong reasons. I guess that's the way I should put it, because they might want to stay longer without any of that stuff outside of office. But if you took away those incentives, I think you'd get a lot less people who are just doing it for themselves.
In order for someone to engage in public service, it is a sacrifice. I know that a lot of people look at people who are serving in the Senate, in the House of Representatives, and I always go back to this. The people who that are there are high-profile people. There are 538 people in this equation. Most Americans definitely couldn't name 10 of all 538. So if you want to run for office, in some cases you can't continue, you're not going to be able to be in practice at whatever you might have been doing before you got the experience needed to say to the 750,000 people in your congressional district, I think I could represent you, or a whole state if you're in the Senate, of course. I feel like I want to defend the office of the representative or the senator, but it's very hard to defend, in many cases, the people filling those offices, and to limit what type of perks come with serving in those capacity would potentially give us a different class of people, maybe those who are a little bit more connected to the constituency, possibly. But I mean, I don't know for me that it's 100% the time that they spend there. I think it's more of the money that keeps them there. That not the incentives, the health insurance and that type of stuff. The campaign financing that keeps them there. It's impossible for somebody to just come up and be like, I think I'd like to represent, I'd like to be considered for this. The money system is so out of balance that that's not really something that is feasible for a lot of people. So I don't know. I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying either that I think that you shouldn't be paid while you're in office or get health care and benefits while you're in office. It's the person who happened to serve, a term of Congress, 40 years ago, and they have lived on it ever since.
They have to do, I think, 7 years possibly of...
Is it different per state and per office? I would think
House is different than Senate. I think you have to be elected 3 times in order to get whatever. I don't know. Go look and see how long Marjorie Taylor Greene was in, because she retired to the day.
She was right on it. Yeah. I remember
and
that.
and also the benefits that you receive, much like if you were to get like a severance from a job, if you worked there for 20 years versus if you worked there for 2 years, that looks a whole lot different.
Absolutely.
And if you, like the allergic knee-jerk reaction that we have to not wanting those individuals to have access to those benefits is based on a collective, kind of shallow, surface-level community agreement that they all suck. Do you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
There are some people who have given their life in public service, which is what the term limits thing is trying to stop from people from doing that. What if they're really good at it? What if they're really good at representing the, Missouri District 8 or whatever it might be? Are there 8 districts or 7?
8.
Is Jason Smith 8th?
I don't remember who's who.
Congressional district? I can't remember either. I introduce them and generally refer to the district that they represent. But I mean, if they're really good at it, should the people in that, ultimately, I feel like the district should be able to say, we've had enough of you. We'd like something else. It should. I'm actually not in favor of term limits.
So that's funny because I'm actually, it depends on the office. Like governors, I'm okay with term limits for governors, but I'm not really for
Tell that
Congress.
to JB.
I know, and that's part of the reason. I'm not for congressional term limits simply because at the federal level, maybe you could say at the state level it's different, but at the federal level for sure, there's, like you said, so much money behind it. And it takes so much influence and people and fundraising and everything to get somebody across the finish line. Even if it's a dark red, dark blue seat, you still have to win the primary, and there's still a lot of money behind that. That if you removed term limits, what you'd be doing is basically giving the money the power to elect anybody that they wanted. So if you want to get to that seat, you got to go through super PAC, whatever, or organization that has been funding that for years, and they're still just picking their politician at that point.
What if we just did it like Los Angeles and just used the public taxpayer dollar to fund elections?
That's why I love Karen Bass, and I'm voting for her from here somehow. I'm going to be mailing in my ballot.
She looks like the merging of 3 Batman villains.
Which ones?
I can't say. It's not appropriate. Use your imagination.
Poison Ivy.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't
and
take it seriously.
Batgirl.
Any more text messages over there? Or YouTube comments?
No, that's the main ones.
I've got a YouTube comment from Andy. He says, "Poll, no term limits wouldn't solve the problem. Competitive districts would be a better solution. So long as we have gerrymandering, the same people or types of people will be elected."
Well, it's a good thing that we just passed that law so we couldn't gerrymander based on race. So I guess I agree with Andy on that.
Mm-hmm.
The gerrymandering is the way that it's been done. That the Democrats have had the stranglehold on that for so long. That being undone, I think will make more competitive districts for people.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree on that.
A criticism, very briefly. It says
Of me?
Of what we were talking about in the last segment.
Imagine wherever you are right now, imagine being at your job and people can just text you and criticize you. Hit me with it. I'm ready.
And by the way, 314-241-9797 if you'd like to do that.
It on. Let's go. Tell me why I suck.
How many Universal Studios tickets do we think one could buy off of a welfare income?
I would like to respond to said texter and ask how many he's okay with.
Very good counter question.
What if it's one? Because it is. I mean, It could be one, it could be however many. But what if there's enough to buy one and that's permissible? That's one too many, right?
Well, yeah, and you can get into Universal Studios if you buy the best ticket. You can probably get in for $120 or something like that. I guarantee you people are making more than $120 on welfare. So, duh. The next one is another criticism. I think it's the same person says. Also, you guys are currently dehumanizing people on welfare as we speak on the radio.
No, we're not.
Absolutely not. In fact, we made it a point not to.
No, you're wrong. I mean, the fact that there are people who need a hand up from a collective society to feed themselves, the very fact that exists in this country, that we have enough wealth to say, we got you on this, while you work out your stuff so that you can get yourself on this and then contribute to being a part of the solution for the next person, is incredibly generous. People fall on hard times. I understand that. I get it. If talking about the fact that welfare exists feels to that person like it's dehumanizing, that's a you problem, not a me problem.
A couple comments on the text, or on the poll, I should say. Do you support congressional term limits? Have just come in. First one says, honk honk, Truckin' Joe here.
Honk honk!
Yeah, I'm a yes on the subject of congressional term limits. Washington, D.C. is in a perpetual state of being in a stalemate, and I think he's saying that would alleviate that. The next one says no. Take the state of Missouri as an example. Term limits mean you do not get experience in the position that comes with time in office.
I agree.
This means now they rely, is kind of what I was saying, rely on the lobbyists or big money to help them make decisions. Take away the money afterwards. Great idea. Term limits. No. And then right after, okay, this one just came in. Yes, 12 years in each chamber. So that's also a compromise you could make. You could say yes to term limits, but here's how long.
Yeah, I mean, I think that when you have the term limit conversation, you have to be thinking very deeply about what problem are we trying to solve by implementing term limits. Because I think that term limits solve different problems for different people. And if the solution is term limits, but we're fixing a bunch of different problems, we probably don't agree on all the problems that need to be fixed. Maybe some people like the way they are to begin with. Eric Schmidt, Missouri Senator, forever. He's doing great. Josh Hawley, same thing. Although I wonder if both of them might want to be the president someday. Annie, are you okay? Next on the Annie Frey Show.
Do you support congressional term limits, yes or no? Or if you're somewhere in between, leave a comment. 314-241-9797. Or Brad is monitoring our YouTube live stream. It is 2:33. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's our favorite time of the week. Trisha's in studio with us. Hi.
Hi, Annie and crew.
How is you?
Good. How is you?
I is good.
Grammar.
What?
Did you notice that your grammar was off there?
No, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't. What are you guys talking about?
She said I is.
Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. I can't believe you did that.
She's a professional communicator too.
For now.
Yeah.
So Trisha's in studio with us. She was just telling us how much time and effort she put into this segment and how proud she was of it.
I said, I cannot wait to tell you guys about these stories.
What do you got for us today?
A second grade teacher in Georgia created a designated fart corner in her classroom.
Ryan!
No, I saw this story and I wanted to be a part of it.
Yep. She calls it the Gusty Winds area.
What? So wait. You're probably about to tell us this. She has a teacher has a fart corner in her classroom?
Yeah.
Why?
So when kids need
Is
to
it for
go,
her?
they can. It's for everybody, anybody.
This is the worst idea. And not because I think that she's like calling out farts and making them not embarrassing. I don't even care about that. If you are a boy in that class, you are using every opportunity to get up,
get to the fart
walk
corner.
into the fart corner
At second
and be like, and then like, look at me. Every boy's doing that.
And every girl, it wouldn't be caught
The
dead
girls
in
aren't
that
doing
fart
it.
corner.
No. That's ridiculous.
So she stocked it with air freshener and encourages students to relieve themselves away from their desks if they need to.
I wonder if a second grade classroom is just repulsive.
It's disgusting. Boogers and
I mean, to think that a
and-
teacher would be like, I've got to come up with a solution for this. I'd assume that the corner is on the opposite side as her desk in the classroom.
Oh.
If not, I don't understand this at all. But if the problem is so pervasive that it would warrant its own geographical location, that's got to be a stinky classroom. But maybe this is something that all second grade teachers just understand. A lot of gas.
Yeah. I mean, my question is, are you okay with the designated fart corner?
No.
No.
No, there's no.
It would backfire.
Well, there's.
No pun intended.
No.
In this
I
studio.
can't even
Would you
have-
guys designate a corner in this studio?
Yeah, we have a corner designated for it.
It's mine.
Pick
It's
which
right.
one it is. It just is. The corner relocates.
As Ryan moves around.
Yep.
Tulsa police are actively searching for a serial defecator who has been
What's the
terrorizing
theme to this?
a local shopping center. I told you I was proud and excited to bring these stories to you.
Is this one who defecates cereal?
Yep. Security, maybe among other things. Security cameras caught the suspect dressed only in a thong, a shower cap, and pink Crocs defecating into a dog waste bag and smearing it on the doors of businesses.
Now, wait a second. You said that he was a serial defecator. That sounds like he just did one.
No, businesses. He's going
Oh,
around.
he was going, but he did. How many times did he have to poop? To
That
do it?
I don't know. Yeah, it's terrible
Questions
reporting.
about logistics here.
Authorities are asking the public for any tips to help track down the elusive suspect before he strikes again. Annie, are you okay with Crocs?
Oh gosh, I have a struggle. Crocs are the only shoes that I can repeatedly walk 30,000 steps around Orlando in and not have major foot issues afterwards. But I will.
Crocs are really not like a good pair of tennis shoes.
No, and I have bought good pairs of tennis shoes to do that.
Interesting.
I have to mix up my footwear a little bit, but there is a function for them. If you're hanging out at the pool and you need something to put on your feet that can get wet or can get muddy or dirty and easy to clean, they are very, very functional. But I do not want to be caught dead in public in them, except for specifically walking around Orlando in them. I just can't. They're so ugly, but they are so widely accepted.
Did you say the guy was wearing just Crocs and a bikini bottom?
A pink thong, a shower cap, a thong, a shower cap, and pink Crocs.
But they didn't
I
catch
don't know the
him
color of the
defecating.
thong.
They just saw that he was smearing
They
poop.
saw it. Security cameras caught him.
Okay.
In the act.
What's the matter
In the
with people?
Crocs. And
Caught
the
him in the
shower
act.
cap. Japanese men are increasingly turning to full body hair removal to cope with the country's sweltering summer heat waves.
Is that why you did it, Ryan?
No.
Why did you do it?
Fashion.
Grooming clinics in Tokyo are reporting a surge in appointments as men seek relief from the extreme temperatures and discomfort caused by sweating.
What hair are we removing?
We're talking lasering leg hair. Just
smooth legs.
Yep. The trend is growing as more men shed their resistance to wearing shorts and look for ways to stay clean and comfortable. Annie, are you okay with wearing shorts to work?
Yeah, I will from time to time. It's usually out of necessity. If I have somewhere I have to go immediately, I might do it. Or if we're just in a serious laundry situation at home and I can't find any clean
It's
jeans.
like shorts over no pants.
Yes. If those are my
I didn't know
options,
that was the line with shorts.
they got to be nice shorts though. I'm not okay with like an athleisure short situation at work for me personally. But I also will say I don't care what other people wear.
Yes, you do.
I do.
I wore sandals the other day, and you made a huge thing out of it.
Yeah, but we
in
could all see your
fairness,
toes.
in fairness, I did not make a huge deal out of it. I contributed.
Yes,
but that was Ethan
You
and Trisha.
contributed.
Terrible.
I was asked
toes
about your
out in the
feet. I
kitchen.
have one opinion, and I'm here to say my opinions. That's my job.
Yes.
Don't wanna,
So
like
many
I said,
toes.
the culmination of my point on this issue was that I don't even want to think about the fact that men have feet.
So you're fine with shorts for tomorrow?
For you? You want to wear
So
shorts tomorrow?
if I wear
please cover
shorts,
your toes.
Hey,
you're
Ryan,
fine with it.
Ryan,
Jean shorts.
I have zero say in what you wear, obviously.
So if I came in wearing some pretty high cut jean shorts,
Yeah.
you can see the pockets coming out of the bottom.
Same thing as what happened last time you did that. I'd make fun of you.
You'd be fine with it.
I'm not fine with it. I'm not like fine. I don't think about what you wear.
You wouldn't affirm me. You're not an ally of me in
Yeah.
jean shorts.
I know. Correct.
Just pointing out that you do care
About what?
about all this fashion stuff that you're like, I don't care what other people wear.
No, I don't. I don't. I mean, if you wear something and I see you and I think you look ridiculous, I'm going to think it, but I'm not going to say it. Do you want me to say it?
You will. You will
I feel
say
like I
it.
opened a can of something here.
You wear the same thing every day.
But I'm trying to branch out, but I feel so
Don't.
so
Why do you need to
belittled
Oh, shut up.
when I do.
It's just the sandals,
You
Ryan.
don't
It's
feel
just the sandals.
belittled. I will make you feel belittled so that you know that you have not been belittled. You're telling me if Ethan wore flip-flops into work here, that's what it feels like for him. If he wore flip-flops in here, you wouldn't say anything about him having his dogs out?
I would.
I know you would.
Of course, I would say stuff about everything. But I just think you're above that.
Do you?
No, you don't. You know you don't. You put me on a pedestal to knock me down and watch me fall. That's what you do.
Possibly.
Do you remember when Ryan wore that sweater to that fancy event? You know the sweater I'm talking about?
If you're talking about the dang Dan Flash's shirt, I am quitting the show.
Oh, no. She's not talking
Don't
about
bring
the
that
Dan
up.
Flash
It's
shirt.
that sweater. It was like a GOP. It might have been like a Rauner Governor event.
It was his homage to Bill Cosby, his hero.
Yeah, it was
That is
so
not
embarrassing.
true.
I walked in with him.
I'm a fan of the man's comedy, though.
If Bill Cosby and Zach Morris shared a sweater, it was this one.
Mm-hmm.
And they shared it with Ryan Wiggins. And briefly, since you brought up this story, you were on the show for how long?
Oh, less than a year.
It was you were pretty fresh.
Yeah.
A little too early to be so bold. And I'm emceeing the Madison County Lincoln Day dinner, and I'm like, you guys should come. Have the show be there. They'll give you a table. You can eat fried chicken, which I have a picture of you eating. I have a picture of Ryan. I'm going to find it. Eating the fried chicken in a Zach Morris sweatshirt at a table all by himself. And he is nose deep in this chicken.
Shameless.
Tell me, you made the decision to wear the sweater on your own. Tell me what happened when you got home and your wife saw you.
Yeah, it's kind of legendary now.
It is.
Because I had not been on the show for that long. And this was an official event. And it wasn't funny. And I wore that to it to be funny. And when I got home,
So embarrassing.
I was coming home from an event because I was wearing my nice shoes and like some nicer pants and that shirt. And she said, she knew I was at an event. She goes, "What did you do?"
That's the first thing she says to him.
And it was genuine concern, not funny, not like, "Oh boy, what a card." You know, she was like, "No." She was pretty mad
Yeah. She's embarrassed.
because she thought I was
brought
going to
shame
lose
on the
my
family.
job.
And here you are, 6 years later or whatever, telling the story of the legend of the sweater.
Oh,
you got one more?
Sure. A doctor from Virginia is going viral after sharing a story about waking up to a bat trying to get into her mouth. Yep.
You got me at the end there.
She's having a dream. All of a sudden, she wakes up. There's this little tiny bat crawling into her mouth. Her name is Dr. Krista Edelman.
The bat's name?
Yep.
Ryan, what would that sound like?
The bat's name is Dr. Crystal Edelman. What was her name? Sherry?
Open wide.
It didn't say.
The dentist.
The story didn't say.
It's a dental bat. Oh, I know what that was. That was a dental bat. That was probably Dr. Christina.
I stayed one story too long.
Anyway.
All right, somebody's got it.
No, just quit. When we can't do it anymore, we just quit. We bail.
All right, thanks,
it's
guys.
okay. The clock says we can. Am I okay with bats? No. What was the question?
That's the question.
No, hard no, especially in my mouth, unless they're educated. We'll be right back. The Retirement Advisory Group, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, great people, first and foremost, that are excited to work with you to get that retirement plan set so that you feel comfortable and confident and, excited, as you should be, to finally move into the retirement that you've been dreaming about. A lot of people, when I meet them at the seminars, my question's always like, so are you retired? Are you looking to retire? And the stories are all a little bit different, but at the same time, kind of similar. There are people who are just dying to hear, yeah, you know what? You can do it. You can retire. There are people who have already retired and are just trying to, cover all their bases. But there are a lot of people who have been really nervous about finding out bad information, like maybe, no, you can't retire yet, that they've put it off a little bit. They haven't had this conversation. And time again, Bob and Tammy Kershaw are able to tell them, you can do it, and this is how. 314-993-9494. Call 314-993-9494 and set up a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. Tell them Annie sent you and see how close you are to being able to have a personalized, structured income plan that gives you the confidence you need to go into retirement. Call my friends at the Retirement Advisory Group, online at retirementkey.com. So earlier in the show, we played the cut from President Trump in the Oval Office renaming the lake on Lake Ontario. Lake of America.
Lake America, yeah.
So we have a Gulf of America, and now we have Lake America. Can he like rename Illinois? Can he just like what does this man have the ability to do? I would assume that these bodies of water are federal property, and maybe Illinois belongs to the state of Illinois. So maybe he can't come and do that. But there's more where that came from. Fox News' Stephanie Price reports President Donald Trump on Thursday signed an executive order renaming Lake Ontario Lake America, then joked that the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans could be next.
What?
As you know, we took something called the Gulf of Mexico. We changed it, and now it's very routinely the Gulf of America, Trump said. So if you think about it, we have a Gulf and we have a lake. Now all we need is an ocean. So maybe we'll have to change the name of the Atlantic and or the Pacific. Maybe we'll change them both.
America 1, America 2.
Trump declared the Lake Ontario change official, effective immediately, while announcing the order. And finally, it's the purpose of this more than anything else is we're going to be changing the name of Lake Ontario, effective immediately, to Lake America. That's going to take place right now as I sign the order. So that happened. What do you think about that? Do you care that he's doing this?
It's really classic Trump stuff, but this is kind of I don't really like it that much.
It's distracting.
It's funny, but it's also, there's real money that has to be spent, but it's also like, gosh, compared to the amount of money that's wasted, the little bit of money that would go toward changing some maps and phrases and stuff.
I'd have a lot more patience for this type of stuff that is really kind of just troll job if we weren't trying to figure out Iran.
I don't even care about that. I just don't think it really does anything for the conversation with Canada. And it's a PR stunt for sure. I mean, it gets people talking about it, and it maybe makes Canada mad. But they were already mad. I don't know. I just don't care. It kind of bothers me because it seems like such a
petty.
Yeah, it seems like
petty.
Useless.
Yeah, I don't. This is not the type of thing. Like, I kind of chuckle when I see it.
Me too.
I chuckle and roll my eyes like, oh, of course he did.
Yeah.
But there's no part of me that's like, do it. Do it now. Like, there's no need for that. I kind of like the Gulf of America.
I was going to say.
We do encompass it. I don't know if I feel differently about that than the Gulf of Mexico, but I don't. I don't need it. It's not for me. I do. If it's a total troll job, do we have time for that? That's just kind of my thought on the matter.
I don't know. I did get a little bit bigger kick out of Gulf of America than this. I thought this, in a way, we were talking yesterday about Jelly Roll on Jimmy Kimmel.
Who doubled down, by the way.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he said if you didn't want to hear jokes about Donald Trump, you should have voted for Kamala Harris.
Oh, no. So you really did cross the line.
Yeah,
then.
I don't like at this point. I wasn't gonna turn a Jelly Roll song off my radio, but now I'm like, oh, so this is a thing.
Oh, it's a real
like
thing.
You're gonna
now.
make this thing a thing.
Okay.
Like you're really gonna go into it. All right, fine.
I mean, you could make kind of a fat joke or a body joke about the president, and that's what he did. It wasn't really highly political, but now he made it political. That
well,
stinks.
to me, like you made the comment yesterday that the Jelly Roll joke about Donald Trump being a fat pig, he said from one fat pig to another or something like that. The joke was so bad, like so unfunny, so low grade comedy that it's like it's the only purpose it served was to scratch the I hate Trump itch for people.
Yeah.
And I don't have that itch. So now you're just scratching me, and I'm like, what are you doing? I don't need this. Not that I'm watching Jimmy Kimmel anyway. The only reason I promise you that the majority of people who know in the United States of America that Jelly Roll was filling in for Jimmy Kimmel know it because he made that joke and it's been clipped.
So
otherwise, it would have just been lost on people.
And the only reason I bring up the Jelly Roll Kimmel thing at all right now is to say that yesterday when we were discussing that, I said that my biggest problem with it is that the jokes just weren't really that funny. If they landed and they were funny at Trump's expense, I don't care. But they weren't good. And they were also they're also just kind of gross and weird. I mean, I'll fall for gross and weird jokes at times, but those were just not good. And so that's the way I feel about the Gulf of America and the Lake America, is that you already made that joke. You did that with Gulf America, and it was kind of funny, and it was a troll, and it worked. Now you're just doing the same joke again. You're just going back for the Weekend at Bernie's too.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that I don't really care about.
Is that
this
a Biden reference?
It could be.
Could be. YouTube comments on the poll here, Brad. Do you support congressional term limits? Yes or no? What are the people saying?
Well, I got one here from Joe, and
Hi,
Joe
Joe.
says you would lose some scumbags, but also the best of the best. So that might be a no.
Where do you guys stand on this? Where are you at, Brad?
I'm a no. I've said this a lot. The best defense against bad politicians is an engaged electorate. If you don't like the people that are running for office, then get engaged and vote those people out. That's the way it was designed. We don't need term limits.
I agree for the most part. And like I said, it depends to me on which office we're talking about, because there are offices that I could see term limits being very beneficial to. Congressional term limits, I'm actually gonna say yes, but that it has to be a certain number, like 4 terms, or it has to be, if you're in the Senate past 20-something years, that would be your term. Because that to me is plenty of time for you to be a good senator and serve your country for a long time, and then let's move on.
I'm not for it. I think the people should vote people out. But I am for. I have a problem, and I'm always opposed to offering up things that I think are problems if I haven't considered what solutions might be offered. So I hesitate to even say it. But I just think that the people of each district, of each state, have the opportunity to vote people out if they don't like them. The money, to me, like I said before, if you want to solve a problem, you got to identify what it is. The money, to me, is the problem. So how do we solve that? How do you think this is going to shake out? We got 174 votes on the YouTube poll right now. How do you think, what give me a prediction here on the results before I give them.
I think 80% will say yes to term limits.
We have votes in, and it's 91% say yes.
Okay.
That's a resounding victory for term limits. Certainly. Did you have another comment you wanted to read, Brad? No? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for listening today. The podcast is going to be popping today. Trey Gowdy, Catherine Hanaway, and Hans von Spakovsky, all available on the Annie Frey Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. You can also go watch it back on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We'd love to have your subscription there, but keep it here on 97.1 FM Talk. Mark Reardon next.